very annoying. I mean, it keeps me from having to upload videos, which I still need to get back to. There's a significant jump in the dates on these because those are the ones, that's when I started streaming on YouTube. So basically everything all the way up until, so from here down, from 1026 to 611, that's when I started working on the Skull speaker, when I started streaming to YouTube. So these are all things that I need to get up and online. That's 113 files. Wait, yeah, 113 files. So I still need to do 113. I did like 200 and something uploads. I still have 113 to go. They take time. YouTube has like a delay on it. Although now I have gigabit Ethernet, so maybe it'll be a little faster. You know, we secured all that gigabit stuff. Are we, where's my stream? There it is. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Pop out the chat. There's nobody else home, so I get to be loud. My big problem is that in these old streams, I keep leafing through these, and like Willow's downstairs. She comes down and she hangs out and she like sleeps under my desk. It was so cute, and she doesn't do it anymore. She just doesn't, I don't know, she doesn't like it. So anyway, we need to go to the other stream archive, the one that doubles up what YouTube has. I could go to YouTube and I could watch them on YouTube as well, but I have them as files, as physical files, so I might as well. So stream storage 5 and stream storage 5. Why are they doubled? Where's the new one? Where's the USB one? That should be plugged in. I mean, I turned on the caddy. Hold on a sec. Hold on one sec. It might be that the USB isn't cooperating. Is this spinning? It's not spinning. Okay. I think you need to hold down the button for this to turn on properly. Show me a sign of life here, buddy. Do 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 do. Why isn't this thing turning on? Oh wait, this is the single drive caddy. I might be giving it the wrong voltage. Different power supply. Hold on. I guess this thing does 19 volts. I thought the other one was 19. Well, hopefully it didn't blow it up. Bum, bum, bum. Single drive caddy. 12 volts. I might have to go find the double drive caddy then. I don't know where it is. This is just the single one. And it could also be where I'm plugging it in the front of the computer. What up, Mahalo? I'm getting there. We're getting there. Do, 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 do. Wish these caddies would just take AC in. Huh. Go to a different USB slot. I wonder if I just blew up my hard drive caddy. That shouldn't be so sensitive. I might have blown it up. That's no good. Yeah, it's not turning on. Fantastic. Well then, so much for cable mattress. All right, let's get this out of here. That might be a free power supply. I thought it could take, like, what is the DC input voltage? Oh, it doesn't say. It just says DC. It's not enough information. All right, where's the double caddy? Double, double, double. Where'd it go? Animal style. Don't make me get a new hard drive thing. Where did it go? It's always like this, isn't it? Always like this. It's always in the last place you look. What did I do with the 2-drive caddy? I was using it, wasn't I? I was swapping around file server drives with it. So it probably would have ended up back where it belongs, which is in that drawer. However, like, here's the power supply even. And it's big. It's like a 2 hard drive caddy, so it's hard to misplace. Very hard to misplace. Down there, no. Nah, you would think. I need to get one of those light ones that plugs into the back. Rip hard drive caddy. I know, it's like, why isn't it turning on? I give it 19 volts instead of 12. Like, that should be fine. You know, most electronics can, well, it all depends, I guess. It depends. Incontinence, it depends. Did I put it in these drawers? These drawers would have been a place for it to go. When I started moving all of my random stuff into the drawers. Nope. Yeah, I think streamers stopped using this music because it kept getting copyrighted, and now with the re-release of the game, it should probably still be in the game, so it might be okay to use. Although, you know, this isn't getting broadcast. The music, it is getting broadcast, sorry. The music is getting broadcast, but it's not on the VODs. And it's not on YouTube. So any of the YouTubers that you see, they can't hear. They can't hear me. They don't know what I'm saying. Ah. Where did my hard drive caddy go? I need to look through the stream archive to find the PDF of the M303, not M303, the M303 repair guide. It's somewhere on screen, on the stream, on screen, and I looked at it and closed it, and I didn't save it. I should have saved it locally. Is it on the desktop? Watch it be on the desktop. Probably has a transient voltage suppressor that dead shorts in an overcurrent to make you buy a new one. People don't do that. This will be easier in folder form. Hold on. Looking on the desktop with like a big image on the background is always distracting. This is much easier. Module testing module, mutable environment. The module testing module is a result of my file server permissions being all messed up. I need to fix them. What's up, Poopsie Doodle, anyway? PV something or other Win64 processing, some porn, recordings, scans, screens. Oh, I said the P word, and now my whole stream is gonna be like fucking destroyed. 808 Yamcha found dead. No. 4048 check. No, that's the building the module. Oh, we need regular music now. Rimworld OST, we'll just put that on. There you go. Aerodrive Granity, SIO for all, Big Yoshi. Now, CV notes. Oh, this is a good one to, I need to program this into the module testing module. It's the DOS Micro, the RC car hookup. Discord. Dark Sky. Oh. What is that even doing here? Deleting that. No. I've lost control.png. Oh, that was when we were playing with images and screens. That's like Big Yoshi and like Amogus together. Schematic trace. This is my working document for the M303. M audio backup, my mic stuff, module test.png. Whoa, oh, this is my working document for what we're building today. We're not getting through this whole thing today. We've already built the power supply, but we need to think about this circuit while we build today. That's already open on this computer, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Compressor, OIG. These could be anything. This is a very dangerous document to be messing with. Or my desktop files are very dangerous to be opening with you guys. URL.png. Oh, I see. It's Tom thinks in his own font. Tom in his own font. Oh yeah, this is that basic Arduino day when we hooked up a counter with a really cool looking display. I would love to use this in something, but I don't know what yet. They're from the 70s. Building an enclosure with a timed interlock for adding access controls to a garage door. We need to make sure it can always be closed with a button. I mean, if you want to do that outside of like Arduino, there should be DIN rail stuff that you can probably hook together with timers and logic and stuff. Usually how they do it on like pools and things like that. I don't know about time lockouts and stuff, but it seems like you can do a lot of stuff with like DIN rail. Although it will be way more expensive than throwing in an Arduino. Arduinos they're not like meant to be in an enclosure where it can get hot and cold and stuff like that. Although depending on your environment, if it's like a suburban garage, it's probably fine. But socket relays, yeah, those two. You could use relays. URL stuffs. More Tom thinks things. I need to really clean up this desktop. Oh yeah, I'm not allowed to put pedal in there, but I could put PDF file. All right, Twitch. Weird. Database backup junk. Junk? Yeah, it's junk. Clipper.bin. That's just that. I've had to save files onto the desktop that need to go into the file server soon. Milk drop, nah. TNC stress test, temporary prints. Yeah, it's just not here. And I looked on the file server to see if I have that PDF, and I don't. So I'm stuck. I need that drive caddy. I need to find my dual drive caddy and get it hooked up. And it's in here. It's in this room with me. Is the drive caddy in the room with us right now? Yes! Yes, it is. It's here. It's somewhere. I swear to God. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. I'm not the crazy one. The drive thing is in here. I've used it before on stream to back up my mother's computer. Well, to fix my mother's computer. She got one of these all-in-one monitor and computer things a long time ago, and the hard drive went tits up because it was a platter drive. And so I replaced it with a pretty decent SSD, and her computer suddenly had new life, breathed into it, breathed new life in it. I can't talk good, nor can I speak good grammar. Where the fuck would I put something like this, chat? You guys need to answer me this. Riddle me this, chat. Is Jonkler really man's ultimate opponent? Hard drive caddy. Think like bother. It's a big plastic thing. It needs to go away. It needs to go in a logical place where I'm going to find it again. It's a big plastic box. Doesn't really fit in the drawer. Not in the backup audio stuff, USB. It would go here in this lower drawer where the single drive caddy resides, but it's not. Did I throw it out? I don't think I got that crazy throwing stuff out lately. I have been getting a little bit more selective with the things that I keep, though. I just have to be at this point. It's just not. It's an uphill battle trying to have room to do stuff and trying to keep things so that I can get back to projects that are very, very old. It is a necessity around here, but it's also, I need to be way more selective about what I keep. I don't understand why what have I done with this? Oh, maybe it's down here. Nope. Nope. Did it make it onto the organized floor? Florganization, as I call it. Oh, I did have some cheesy bulldog noodles. Damn it. Bag of ramen that got separated from the other ones. One of the really cheesy ones. I was looking for that. I was talking to ADHD Degenerate about craft dinner. Never talk to a Canadian about craft dinner. Don't do it. Every Canadian cannot agree with any other Canadian about how to prepare the craft dinner. Craft dinner being, and I'm not sure if it's powdered or the stuff with the sauce in it, but it's basically Kraft macaroni and cheese, the kind, you know, we used to have as kids. Canadians all have their own little recipes about how to prepare it, and they add stuff to it. Garlic powders and onion powders and stuff like that. And that's where the bulldog noodles came in, because I was talking about those. and they are delicious. You wouldn't think it. Ramen and cheese. It's basically mac and cheese. It's very, very delicious, in fact, because it's super duper spicy. I thought that was pretty cool. Sorry, I'm flying in and out because I've been jumping around. What's up, Funk? Yes. Suggestion for finding the PDF. I recall Ben Gizmo shared the link. You can find the link in their chat history. I tried. How far back does Night Scout go? And did you see the stream where I directly asked Ben Gizmo what that PDF was, and he was being guarded around it and wouldn't share the link again? I asked them directly, and they did not share the fucking link with me again. What is that? Okay, so maybe I can do, I don't think Nightbot history goes back far enough. Does Twitch let me look at their history? I'm doing this off camera because I'm gonna open up Nightbot. Nightbot does keep logs, but I don't think it'll do like a comprehensive. We'll try it though. I have to Google Nightbot. I'm like an old man. I'm like an old fogey. I have to Google search engine, and then hopefully my search engine comes up. Log in with my Twitch credentials, and then I need to do chat history, logs. I don't know how far back the logs go. Ben Gizmo. And then there's this chat from just now. Yeah, the logs don't go far back enough. They don't even go to like a couple streams ago. Really annoying. That's really annoying. That doesn't change. It just doesn't go back that far. How do you do that on Twitch with like the user chat history? You have to sub, blah, 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 Funk. I'm looking you up, Funk, yes. I'm gonna see if I can see your history. Manage suspicious user, no. I don't think, oh, but that's not a moderator view. Hold on, maybe I can do, let me put that on the center monitor. Twitch will bother, and then I can go to, let me see. How do you do moderator stuff? I don't know how to moderate. Oh, it doesn't, am I not? I am logged in. It should not, oh my God, I can knock on people's streams. Robert turned his off. That would be kind of funny to knock on Robert's stream and he wouldn't even see it. What's that thing on your desk? It's the thing we're building. It's the module testing module. We're building a modular synthesizer module. What tests other modules? Huh. How do I get to moderator view from here? Oh, well, first of all, I need chat to be out. Chat there. And then I need to do that setting. Switch to mod settings. Oh, wait. Set font, blah, blah, blah. Shield mode. Here's shield mode. Shield mode is off. These settings are inactive. Only be applied when shield mode is active. Can I search like a chat history? I'm gonna do like Twitch. Hold on, I gotta do a search. Twitch moderator view chat history. Please do not answer with AI, you stupid Google. Why are they making it? They just make everything worse. Full logs without any third-party websites. Manage and automate your auth directly from the command line. No, that's not the right one. Are talking about it in real time during streams later time. I know with Twitch VODs now you can watch chats in real time alongside the VOD. Downside is though people can go back while watching the VOD and make their own comments. Not sure if Twitch can segregate comments into VODs, blah, 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 blah. How do I search a specific user history? Ugh. Whatever, I'm closing this. I don't know how to do it. I'm too dumb. Having fun making my bed as flat as possible for my ALB. People stress flat beds a lot, huh? SB, you replaced the acronym that I didn't know with an acronym that I also don't know. Hoarding addiction. Look, if I had a hoarding addiction, I would probably be able to find that hard drive caddy. I don't know what the hell happened to it. And that's the way, other than using YouTube, that's the way that I think I'm going to be able to find out where this PDF file was located. I've narrowed it down to a couple months worth of, auto bed level. Ah, yes. That's a tough one. I had to, when you seek minuscule perfections, your engagement in the project and the frustration are going to multiply in tune with it. The more precision you seek, the more imperfections you're going to find, and the more incurable imperfections you're gonna get stuffed with. It's better just not to know. The BL Touch was a curse. It works. It got my printer to work though, so I can't complain that much. What did I do with the freaking caddy? I gotta find this thing. Hold on, chat. Because, I mean, I could go through YouTube and search it out, but I would rather have the speed of having it just... Because the hard drive's right here. I'm looking at the hard drive that I can read it from. And the question is, where did I toss the hard drive? I didn't put things back in their place. Don't be like me. Put things back where they're supposed to go and determine a location for all of your stuff. And that way... you don't have to use as much of your brain to figure out where stuff is. That's been my goal. It's a kind of a little bit unachievable, but the pursuit of it at least makes you organized enough to function as a human being. I'm not buying another drive caddy, that's for damn sure. I have one. I know it works. I may have just blown up my single drive caddy though. Did it end up on the table in the other room? Hold on, I'm gonna peek around the corner. Peeking around the corner. Oh, there's no battery in that. Damn it. I was going to spin up the chop saw just to make dramatic sounds and go, oh dear God, and but I don't. There's no battery in it. I need to print out a couple fake fingers too for the next time that I use that. All right, hard drive. Caddy, show thyself. No more can you hide. I will find you. I don't get it. Where could I possibly put it that it would run away like that? I bet it got like tossed somewhere and I went, I'm not going to need this thing for a while. After I did all the server stuff, because I used it for the server stuff. Swapping around drives in the server, which was over here. It couldn't have gone in the garbage, right? No. It's not still on my desk. No, it's not on the other desk. Let's see. In that little cubby hole? No, there's no reason to put tech stuff in that cubby hole. On the ground, that AC ammeter that we refurbished, the ancient one, the antique one, that fell off of a shelf. It fell off of a shelf and it fucking exploded. And I don't think there's much of a chance of me putting it back together. That was a really unfortunate accident. I need more like curio style shelves. Oh, you're doing 6x6. I did like 10x10 and it's terrible. It takes so long. I posted a photo in Discord under personal project stuff. I'll be taking some scrap home from work tomorrow. Sweet. What are you gonna fix up with that? Man, if only I had space to use the garage on my own, I would definitely want to move all the streaming gear up to the garage and then somehow swing it to get some like electric car stuff. Because it would be really cool to have you guys with me for modding a car into being an electric. I have tools that can enable me to do that kind of thing. 0.333 between high and low. You're gonna have to go get some shim stock, huh? I don't think But at a certain point, those knobs become a hindrance. There's tools that tell you where to move the knobs. It tells you how far to turn the knobs. If you've got like a 4-knob bed, there's also ways that you can get around the 4-knob bed and turn it into a 3-knob bed. And at a 3-knob bed, you can at least have a better impression of what's going to happen when you twist the knobs. Because with 4 knobs, it gets a little weird and complicated. What's going to lift, what's going to, lower and raise. Whereas with the 3-knob system, you look at the trend and you go, okay, that's the one in the back. Or, that's the one on the side. Look at the drawers again, just in case it's down here. Lower drawer, negative. Drawer just above that drawer. This would have been a good place for me to put, that's where the finger sander is. This is really slowing me down, this whole conundrum of trying to find this PDF so that I can get back to somebody and let them know that, yes, in fact, I do know what to replace on one of these things. Because my confidence is not soaring on the M303 front. And this module testing module is a result of that. It's a result of my inabilities to fix that module so that, because hey, it might actually be fixed right now. It might actually work. That module test, or the M303 might work. I don't know, because I don't have a good, repeatable way to test the functions of the 303. Like, it's a VCO, but I need something that can put signals into it that I know are good. Using one wall shims. All right. Then what's the holdup? It's just the time waiting for the thing to level. Interrogative. Where is my hard drive caddy? What the fuck? How did I lose this thing? Watch it be in here. This is the last place it would be. Okay, it's not in the last place it would be. I must put it on top of something. It's a 2 hard drive caddy. It's a giant piece of plastic. Very hard to misplace. Obviously, the stuff we'll be working on today has nothing to do with this, so we will get to that. But for now, I would actually really like to find this thing because I should be double-clicking on VODs and looking for Ben Gizmo sharing a link to a PDF that has the parts that you're supposed to replace on the M303. I want to build several 2x72 belt grinders and sell them. Don't let me stop you. I got some glues. I got glue. Do you need some glue? Ooh, that was almost a Bill. Turned into Kermit. Wait a minute. It's like a Bill Cosby and Kermit impression at the same time. This is not a good one. And I sing to myself. No, that doesn't work. All right, I'm done with that. Woo! Get that out of my voice. Sitting on this table over here. Is it under the table in a weird spot? No. I wonder if it fell back behind something. I'll bet you that's what happened to it. Because, yeah, the single drive caddy, I did the favor of blowing it up a minute ago. I don't think it's dead. I think it might just be a matter of turning it on properly. Let's just try again with this one. And then I'm going to put out an APB for my double hard drive caddy and figure out what the fuck happened to it. What happened to it? How is it gone? It's like this giant piece of black plastic with a weight on the bottom that holds 2 drives, 2 platter drives, or it might be one platter and one SSD. And I had it out the other day. It should not be lost. All that is not saved may be lost. Okay, single drive caddy is what this power supply is labeled. Plug that in. Like 19 volts shouldn't even hurt a regular hard drive, should it? Maybe the older ones, maybe not the newer ones. Let me use a more reliable front of PC plug rather. This thing's dead. This thing is dead. I don't know how to frame that one. Hold down the button. Nothing. Long press? Short press. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. What's that? Okay, so hold on. Slash username? Let me get back to you guys. All right, well, let me get my that was muted, right? Yeah. Where's my actual Twitch moderator panel? There's that, and slash. Can I just, that's gonna type it and be unrecognized command. User, whoops. Use a SATA cable in your PC. Don't you have to restart for that? All right, so there's a user card. 12 and 5 volt, the caddy takes 12 and makes the 5. Yeah, but I plugged a 19 into it. Didn't like that. 999 messages. Oh, here we go. How far can I scroll on that? Oh my God. Ben Gizmo is an active member of chat, so this is going to take a little bit for me to find the link. I guess I could probably search it somehow, but we need to get back to somewhere between, it's like the end of last year. That's 8:23, and we keep going. Ben Gizmo also gets very excited about, okay, so that's DigiKey, that's where we're talking screens. Ben Gizmo gets excited about what I'm working on and has a lot of link content linking me to stuff that they think is useful. I have to kind of ignore them. Like I have to do with many of you, ignore you and allow me, myself, the freedom to make a mistake. So hold on, let me see. PJRC, Noritaki, okay, that's all level shifting stuff. Gigantify a willow emote, huh? There it is. How's it going, Celia? My God, he links me to the same data sheet so much. I need to go back almost a year. And this is like, it's like popping in stuff, and so everything's shifting around. But yeah, this will enable me to find it. That's a good, thank you for the help, Kagas. I excel at mistake making. It's weird though, you're not allowed to make a mistake. It was on jump share and now it's gone. Fucking hell. Oh no, that was the mini synth. No, that was from his stuff. Hold on. Okay, so that's not the right one. That's DAC for Arduino synths. Reparter M303. Here it is. Oh, Kagas, thank you so much. We got it. We got him, ladies and gentlemen. Save image as. Now, since I can't get into my file server right now, I'm going to put it on the desktop, but I'm going to put it in. Where am I going to put it in? Not mutable. Well, I need an M303 folder out here. M303. Wow, that didn't even take that much time to find. That's amazing. Started a new expansion of Final Fantasy and then Roman numerals 1 month after release. That's good. Patient gaming is good. I kind of fell away from the Final Fantasies. I think I've played Final Fantasy like 2. I've definitely played through Final Fantasy 3, but Final Fantasy 2, it might have been the original, I don't know, whatever I got on the PSP back in the day in like 2007. And I played it, and it was very JRPG, and like not a lot was happening, and there was a lot of grinding, and I just was like, I don't need to do Final Fantasies. I don't know about this. I'm good. Is there, okay, I need to make sure there's not YouTube chatting. Is YouTube chatting working? Madam You said A, and I missed it. Let me see if I can find it on, there it is. Okay, so YouTube does work. All right, sorry YouTube. I don't mean to treat you guys like second-class citizens, but you kind of are. You're there for archival purposes, and I would love it if there were more of you. If you guys get more active, then I'll pay more attention. Now, it's true. I treat you guys equally. So yeah, here are the red circles, the dreaded red circles, are the parts that get replaced in a dead M303, and they identify them. CA3806, VOM, 40106, and the BC847B. That's funny. CA3086 is not actually the part number that was there, was it? That might have been a different part number. Either way, okay, I've got the thing that I needed. I've been looking for that all day today. That's been my morning and afternoon task. I've had to go through so many VODs. So now, yeah, now I don't need the caddy. I should probably unplug the hard drive before I blow that up too, before I claim another victim. I will need to upload that 113 videos, though. That's going to be obnoxious. I already know how to do it. It's just a lot of work to figure out what's where. Okay, so that's cool. I'm going to leave that up just so when I'm done streaming, I can get back to that person. And oh, there's my Twitch moderator view. It was, I found a PDF where Klaus, the designer, even tells people what parts need to be changed when power is connected the wrong way around. He prepared it as it happens so much. Yeah, you could read forums about M303s being broken all over the place. Nobody's ever plugged in a connector the wrong way. Even the ones with sidewalls, my friends tend to plug in wrong and blow up their fucking synthesizers. It makes me so mad. And yet here we are with a completely unwalled, a 303. It's a synthesizer. This one here was made into a modular synthesizer panel that gets voltage per note. The original one had like a sequencer in it, and it would make, or no, it didn't have a sequencer. It was like a keyboard that you could plug stuff into it to make the different notes, and it would make a very acidy kind of sound, and it had a particular kind of cutoff on it. Working greater than lurking. 808 and 303, yeah, they share a little bit of DNA. Well, the 808, isn't the 808 a drum machine, or is that a sampler? I forget which one, because we had an 808 at one point. The 505 is like the 303 on crack. Looks like it was designed to easily connect. Yeah, the thing about the Acid Lab header is that you can plug it off center. It doesn't block pins when you plug it off center, and you're supposed to plug in off center when you're using a regular modular synthesizer. Which means these musicians don't know how to plug it in a special way, so that's when power has been reversed. Change all the things in one go. Parts are listed in the image. Oh, and I guess he got a sub out of that. Okay, so anyway, that was, what year was that? What year is it? Did I just lose the, I lost place because it loaded in more. Great system, Twitch. It really helps out a lot. Somewhere around 723. No, that's not right. 725. What the hell? It loads in more content, and then your scroll bar resets to a weird new place. So somewhere around here. Okay, there it is, .gif. It's a .gif. I never would have been able to find that. And then I scroll up to here, 5/23/24. So April. All right, let's get this out of here. All right, so we managed to pick it out of his history. Thank you, Kagas. Thank you, thank you. Oh, glad that worked. Also, hi, I've been working for a bit. I'm a lowly circuit bender, but I've learned a lot from this M303 reversing project. Oh, I'm glad. I'm really glad, actually, because you don't get a lot of, I mean, I guess I do get a lot of positive feedback, but you like to complain about not getting positive feedback about your work, because a lot of the time I get shit-headed commenters on Twitch, and we're on Twitch, so it's a gaming platform. Nobody has an attention span. Everybody has microplastics in their brain. So you don't hear a lot of people saying, man, you really inspired me, or, you know, I note that people do say that a lot, and I think maybe it's because I bitch about it a lot. But I tend to listen to the idiots a lot more, the people who think that somehow I'm supposed to be clearing projects like a YouTuber, and I can assure you I'm incapable of doing that. I'm not special. You know microplastics? Yeah, in my balls. Like the rest of us. Even the ladies. Everybody here is nice as long as he uses the right CAD. the right solder tool, the right everything. Yeah, and it's conflicting. It's always conflicting too. You know, I tell the story a lot, and I guess probably I'd have new stories if they weren't scared off of Twitter by all the fucking anti-trans stuff that's allowed to exist. But Emily Valinesco, I believe that's who it was used to have a Twitter account. Maybe they've moved on to like Blue Sky or something, but they were complaining in exactly the same way about people saying you're using the wrong CAD, but they were using the CAD that everybody suggested that I use. But they had people complaining that they weren't using the CAD I use. So it's circular. It's just a big recycling symbol between one CAD and the other, the three main players. And then every now and then somebody tells you need to use Rhino, and you go, who are you? Go away. What are you talking about? Can you believe that I did this? Like, what was it? The 3D printer project was actually a long time ago. That felt like it was yesterday that I was doing that. Time is starting to go exponentially. Rhino, what the hell's wrong with people? I have a friend who uses it. He loves it. He uses it for like big design stuff. It's like big serious CAD, but like who? I mean, I guess like maybe in the 2000s it was a big deal, but E-Blaster's still the most viewed clip on the channel. Oh, that was when I blew up a cap. Yeah. Wait, no, what the hell, man? What is that? Oh yeah, you can see the cap heating up in the background, and then it goes psh, and I go fuck. More heat, too much heat. It's a 35 volt cap, and we're putting like 50 volts into the controller. Pow. That was a good one. Why is this up? Oh, you know, because we had other stuff going on. Let me re-aim that one and then turn off that camera. We'll get started in just a second here. Now that I've found the stuff I need. I gotta throw the Lancia car body into Blender again and get to know Blender a little bit more. Because I want an RC car body. It's getting to be the type of weather where I can be outside again. And I want to use that 3D printer. It sat for a couple weeks. Rhino was good 15 years ago. Yeah, I guess I haven't followed, you know, CAD. I don't know CAD lore. I had something to talk about that had to do with Jacozan. I totally forgot. It was probably something we were talking about earlier. Get that out of there. Now we're focused on this desk. We're gonna do like the forest for the trees kind of thing today. It's a shame that that didn't go more viral. I mean, that many. Welcome to my dreamy. You're falling asleep. You're beginning to dream. Sorry, it's just looking down at the surface of water. The yeah, I would have liked that to be more popular. But again, I'm not planning for stuff to fail. So when things fail, my reaction is natural. My reaction was hyper stupid for that one though. To go, wow, it's so dumb. But yeah, you know, I don't want to force the issue because it's very obvious when somebody does. Very, very obvious. At least for those in the know. Most people can tell. It's close to your fingers so I don't blame you. Yeah, that could have hurt. Those things have a little, you know, that was like a 22. No, it was like a little black powder going off. I was finding cardboard on the desk like weeks and weeks later. I would find a little piece of cardboard on the desk that was like all frayed. I'm like, what is this? Another thing that I've noticed very, very aptly is that looking at my old streams, I gotta get my hair cut. This has been going on for a little too long. I'm all scraggled out right now. I need to tighten the bolts in and look good again. The smell. I know the smell, but I don't remember the smell. It's weird. Yeah, it's like a capacitor specific and specific to electronics burning and capacitors blowing up. There's a smell, and I think it's your body trying to tell you, hey, those electrolytic chemicals inside of the capacitor, probably not good to be breathing. Let's start soon out of here, and I'll get the music down. Get the music down, and get down to the music. Okay, I mean, it should have been pretty soft anyway. Hi, welcome to my shop. I have been disheveled, and I'm only just starting to make all my doctor's appointments and go to them and get back out from under like the table that I've been hiding under for a couple weeks. I am scraggly right now, but I will be cleaning up soon. Anyway, in the meantime, we are tracking in real time the failure of my greater functionality in terms of building electronics. And what we've been able to do is create an entire power supply from scratch. And this will be for a modular testing module. It turns out this thing right here, this little guy right here, don't worry about this little guy right here. This little guy right here is an M303. It is hilariously easy to plug this thing in wrong to power. And when you plug something that's hilariously easy to plug in wrong to power wrong, it blows up. And then you give it to your electronics friend to fix, and your electronics friend plugs it in wrong in a wholly unique way to plug it in wrong, because the connectors on the back are to the main PCB from the front panel PCB are symmetrical and the same number of pins. So it is easy to accidentally plug it in upside down. And it has not been engineered to be safe to plug in upside down, because you're not supposed to be pulling apart the electronics of your modular synthesizers. So from that little bit of strife, having extra broken the M303, I need to create a module that's able to test other modules. Because as I go through fixing this thing and checking all the voltage levels and figuring out if subsystems are running or not, it didn't give me a bang. There was no, it went out like a bitch. It went out quiet like a bitch. No, this thing right here is going to be the module testing module. It looks like a cool little piece of kit. The way that I've designed this thing is with the stuff that we know how to do, like creating 3D printed front panels, using the Thonky Kong connectors, using tactile buttons, and then having LEDs that can sense the voltage levels on the pins, and then figuring out how to hook all of this stuff up, including the VFD screens that I've got lying around. I really wanted to use these, so it'll be nice to get this thing up and running. Plugging it all into a capable microcontroller. And we've been testing little bit by little bit whether or not this Teensy 4.0, Teensy 4.0 can handle all of the stuff we want it to do at once in order to create gate signals, in order to create waveforms, in order to create low frequency oscillators, in order to create all kinds of the stuff that would need trigger signals in order to run a VCO like this, and then how to make it characterize those signals. We've set up several different tests on how to hook this thing up, and I've come to the conclusion, in order to make things simple on myself, I mean, I'm sure people can question, my engineering all along the way, and they will, but this is just to make it simple. The way that I'm doing it is I'm going to have inputs and outputs that can separate themselves out. So what we have is we have an I2S, it's like I2C, but it's meant for sound, and it works in stereo channels. So we can have I2S modules that are plugged in, and we can get up to 8 channels of output. I'm only going to use 6 of those, because we then only have 2 channels of input on the I2S system. If I put like an audio codec on there, I could do 8 in and 8 out. But to be honest, we're not going to use more than 2 channel inputs. It doesn't need to be as powerful as my oscilloscope. It should be close, though, because I want to be able to measure frequencies and stuff like that. And in order to do that, I'm using Maxim muxing parts. These Maxim muxims are basically like electronic switches, and they connect cleanly to your ins and outs, and they work at plus minus 15 volts if we need them to. We only ask it to go plus minus 12. But what that means is that I've got 2 extra channels on some of the 8-pin muxes, so that I can then pull in a voltage reference source. And so we can tune this whole thing within itself. I think this is going to be a pretty neat and capable piece of kit. I'm not totally sure whether or not like an external voltage signal, I need to read up on it and I haven't looked in the books, but if I have this permanently connected, because these are the outputs, there's 6 of them. So if I have the PCM 5100 connected to this op-amp circuit here, and then I have an external voltage here, is that going to affect the feedback loop of this circuit? I think it does. So in order to avoid that, I'm just going to put an E switch on it so that I can disconnect it. So that means that my ins and outs are going to be a repetition of this circuit here. And this means that we can put any input on any channel, and we can have any output from any channel, including a DC voltage level, and we'll be able to read a DC voltage level from these channels as well. Unfortunately, though, the audio output board doesn't measure DC voltage. It's got like a filter on it. It's got like a DC pass filter on it that's like intrinsic to how it works. So what we'll do is we'll take those 2 channels and we'll also put them into analog inputs, because this circuit right here limits the plus minus 10 volt signal to 0 to 3.3. So we'll be able to take the 0 to 3.3 in here, and we'll be able to get a 0 to 1024 reading off of it. That'll give us an approximation of a voltage level. Good enough, right? Now I don't have a lot of pixels on this thing, so part of my weekend I spent at MS Paint, and in MS Paint what you can do is you can make your canvas size, and actually this will probably be easier in GIMP, to be honest, because MS Paint only allows you to zoom in so far. But in an image editing software, you basically make a pixel for pixel representation of your screen area, and then you can use the basically 1-bit black and white pencil tool and stuff like that in order to make layouts for your screen. Now, getting 6 items on the screen at one point in time, that's difficult to do. I've got some ideas for how I want to do it, so maybe we can mess around with it at some point and get that running. What I would like to do, though, before I do that, is get all the hardware running, because the software is going to be a lot. This is a very capable chip. It doesn't have a ton of pins. The 4.1 does, but this thing can run up to 1 gigahertz if I overclock it. It naturally runs at 600 megahertz. This thing is going to be bored, which is good. I want this thing to be bored. If I spend $20 on a microcontroller, I want it to be able to run any project that I kick at it. This thing definitely can do that. The unfortunate thing with the move to Teensy 4.1 is that the 3.2 becomes extremely obsolete, because not obsolete in the sense that it's slow and stuff. It just becomes obsolete in the sense that the pins are not the same pins between the 2 processors. And so this one cannot take 5 volts. It can't handle it. So we're going to have to do something crazy with transistors in order to shift the voltage level for the screen. I could use a whole voltage level shifter, but this thing is asynchronous. It just needs 2 pins of input, and we can shift an output down to 3.3 volts. So like 3 transistors is all we're going to need to communicate with the screen at 5 volts. And, you know, we'll get that hardware together later on. And once we do that, then I'll at least have a platform where we can have a little bit of functionality, and I can run through the UI tests as well as making modules that are going to run all of the different inputs, at which point we need to do a little soul searching and figuring out how what types of tests are going to need to be done on this thing. And I'll probably make like 2 or 3 fixed setups that this will be able to run tests with, at which point we will have worked on this thing for like a fucking year, and it'll be time to move on. So last time on Oh Bother, we figured out what this side panel was going to look like. I did a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of iteration, i.e. printing it out wrong, time and time again. It's going to be side panel input. I wasn't going to make it back panel because that would require a lot of back panel. If it comes down to that, maybe. But then again, keeping the back nice and open so I can mess around with stuff is nice. So we're doing side panel input, and that puts the power switch right next to us. Because we got a manufacturer model for the power switch, this is perfect. Giving it a 0.2 millimeter surround with PETG, and the way my printer works, makes it a snug, smug fit. It is smug as hell. Look at that. Look at that little guy right there. Works great. And then so the MIDI connector has a nice open area for it. We planned that out. That's going to get wires. It'll go up near the processor where it gets an opto isolator. I don't know, you know, MIDI input I'll eventually have for like sending off notes and stuff. And then we have a programming hole that hooks up to our little programmer breakout with that little board up there. And then we have a power hole, because apparently programming and power have to be separate, unless I were to go out and buy a different breakout board. I found a couple that do the negotiation, power negotiation, and have the D plus and D minus broken out. It would be nice if I had found one of those, but then again, I guess it's nice to have an isolated programming hole. So yeah, even though those are USB-C, this is the one that actually needs a dedicated USB-C cable because it negotiates for 15 volts, or I can have a dedicated 15 volt power brick go into a barrel plug. And those are ORed together with some Schottky diodes, and then it goes to the switch, which gets slightly thicker cable, which is a 120 volt switch, but you know, it'll be running 15 volts, little man. And then we go to a 12 volt regulator that's capable of putting out amps. A 5 volt regulator that's capable of putting out barely amps, it's 2. And then a minus 12 volt regulator that can put out, I think amp. I don't think amps. Not a lot of stuff uses a lot of 12 volt, minus 12 volt. Some does, but it doesn't use a lot. It's basically just for moving voltage levels around. It's not for doing any work. So we then have all of our power, but we don't know if something is running away with our power. One of the characteristic things that happens when stuff breaks is the power shorts out, or a component shorts out and heats up. So I put monitors on this thing. The unfortunate part about these monitors, this is so clean. I know, doing the module thing, you know, module. Me remembering bothers streaming today. I almost didn't. I was on late. I was looking for that file, and it turns out that streaming means that I can communicate with Kagas, who knew exactly how to find the PDF again, and was extremely helpful. So it's a good thing I streamed. I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to like take a week off or something, but no, we need to do progress on this stuff. These take a long time, these projects, and I, you know, part of this is my apology. This is like my apology tour. I'm apologizing for how long these projects take because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. But you can see how clean things end up when I'm like that. So all of the wire wrap wire has been repurposed, not wire wrap, all of the breadboarding wire has been repurposed to be connectors on a spread out giant perf board. This is like an important type of project to show people, because a lot of the time, and even in this project, making a circuit board might have been my better option. If I could keep it all to 100 by 100 millimeter, or whatever the maximums are for the $5 circuit board thing, this whole thing would cost like $100. This board would cost $120 though if I were to do it through those same services, because it's so big. But then I could move stuff in a little bit more and make it a little bit more streamlined. I could probably get the whole circuit on one PCB that's this big. I'm not going to do that though, because I want to show the transition from solderless breadboard to a device that's going to help you test stuff. And the way to do it is to spread things out. You spread out, you put everything in a little bit spaced out, even if it requires, you know, certain circuit elements, you kind of space things out and you make it all very logical and easy to follow. You take your damn time. There's a decent chunk of people at TwitchCon this weekend, so some are traveling today. Oh man, I should have gone to go to TwitchCon, you know? How many of the makers of Twitch are going to be going to TwitchCon? TwitchCon. You know, I think a lot of those people are going to be watching TwitchCon. Because yeah, I'm seeing normal numbers. I'm seeing normal numbers, and we'll see. I mean, the day is still early, and the project is still new. So, okay, so on top of that goes this one. And this one is going to be all of the stuff. We need to like pack the wires down here and to get these out of the way. I think the wire wrap is getting in the way too, so that needs to be managed somehow. Maybe this can do that. You can go with this, you can go with that. Who's the black sheep? What's the black sheep? All right, here we go. Let's put that in there. So this looks like it doesn't fit, but it does. The little blocker over here for the USB-C is almost in the way, but it's just barely out of the way. This is why we have CAD models and stuff, because these line up just right. I don't know where that one is. That one might be trouble. And actually, that one might tell me something's wrong. If push comes to shove, I'm going to have to like take a file to this or something, because I didn't think that would stick out that much, but I think it's okay. Open source is probably the bigger draw for makers. Yeah, that's true. I love the what was it? It was like an IT security convention right across the street from a furry convention. It's like, we're just saving time. People just don't have to travel as much now. I wish we had an open source close to me. Yeah, me too. I wish they were close to you. Wait, no, me. East Coast TwitchCon got fucking obliterated by the pandemic, and I really wish it had happened, because that would have been a better venue to, you know, meet people. The only social interaction I've gotten from Twitch is, well, actually, you know, no, that wasn't really social, was it? That was sort of more of a working relationship with Tom Thinks, and then Uwo's Lab being in Philly to meet up for like 20 minutes. That's the only social Twitch interaction. You know what? That actually does not line up over here. And I've had this thing screwed in before, so... Oh, you know what? Maybe it goes like this. Well, now they both don't line up, so I'm starting to think that that's the way that's supposed to go. I need to have ovals, because I think this needs to be cut back just a little bit, which is an easy thing to do. Let's just cut that back a little bit. What I can do is... Oh, is Fusroda running on the other computer? No, I closed it down. All right, let's open Fusion. Fusion 360. We're going to make this correction before I forget. And I'm going to turn on... Trying to convince William Osman to do an East Coast open source. I'm not like good enough at this stuff to hold up a candle to it. These people like go to these hacking conventions and they're like, I did this totally amazing thing. Look at this badge I made. It does this other totally amazing thing. I'm like, I don't have those ideas. I'm not smart enough. But that's why I'm good at doing this. Good at talking to you guys about stuff. Oh boy, Fusion's having some troubles. You can do it, Fusion. I think this Fusion is going to yell at me eventually because I haven't downloaded the like authenticator thing that they make you do every now and then. You have to verify that you're still an EDU, and then you download the product again. I could have BTS in a booth and people go nuts. It's not that special though. I guess. You know, the stuff that I see coming out. All right, let's just get this over with. Let's get this update over with. We're gonna go like slow for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I first of all, affording a booth, I don't know how much those cost. They're probably hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Get a booth, set up a portable BTS, which isn't too hard to do because the original BTS I had on lighting stands sitting behind me. So I could, you know, maybe, well, depending on what the booths are made out of, I could also maybe attach it to the wall of the booth. Blue laser with people standing around is not a great idea. So I would have to make like an orange tube for the laser so that just enough light would get through so that it looks cool. Maybe 3D print something blue. Something you totally fit in. My gamer ass fits in, you'd be fine. All right. It's just I feel like I am standing amongst giants when I do stuff like that because there's so many much cooler projects. You know, Burn the Subs is sort of something that's catered towards slightly incentivizing Twitch users to sub. At a convention, it would be like, you got to go to my Twitch channel and subscribe for $5. Maybe that would be good. Maybe that would get me a little bit of a fanfare. Imposter syndrome is strong with... Is that what I'm doing right now? I don't know. I don't know. And then I could show up with a fart box, too. That one would be funny. Just set that up on maybe on a louder speaker so that as people are walking by, you could... Twitch chat could use bits in order to set off fart noises. We need to fix that. I've been waiting for file server stuff so that I could put it all on my file server and have that be the MQTT broker. But I can always revert back to the Raspberry Pi. I've got that ready to go. With the fart box attached to your backpack. Or have it as like a giant like Flavor Flav medallion. Quit looking at my fart box. I'm at the point where I'm putting paper under the bed. Have you run out of shim stock? Oh no. What type of printer is that, Kagas? What's the adjustment on that? I had to put down like a piece of Captain tape in the middle of my bed to keep it from being a taco. It's a CR10S, so it's like the same thing I have. You have the knobs though that you can use to get that level again. And like, I don't know, the material of whatever the bed is made out of. Because mine's like a taco. I don't know. Fart box on the Tannoy system. What is the Tannoy? The Tannoy? Tanny? You do have spacers for it. Okay. Oh man, I don't know. Leveling is... Oh, you don't have springs. So the way I got rid of my springs, I hate bed leveling, and I figured that I can just let the BL Touch do all that stuff. Although it seems like we're waiting for this to update, so I'm just talking crap with you guys. It seems like my printer doesn't use the bed leveling process. That, or it's all within the margin of error, so it doesn't really work. God fucking damn it, these fucking things, you can piss off. Man, I wonder at TwitchCon, are there people walking around? Oh, I should do that. Ooh. I should walk around. Oh, I need to get rid of it here. Oh, did it delete? Okay. Oh, Tannoy is a public address system. I think what I should do is walk around TwitchCon with a big sign that says cheap viewers on, and then I put like a real shady link, and it just goes back to my channel, and I just walk around with that sign, cheap viewers on blah blah blah. If I shilled a cheap user thing at TwitchCon, oh, that would be perfect. I need to have, yeah, just a bit.ly link. I need to set up like the purse screen as like a wearable for like a backpack or a messenger bag. I don't like backpacks. I'd probably do a messenger bag, but these screens over here would be perfect to put that up on. You just have it scroll on this thing or something. I could do the QR code to Never Gonna Give You Up, which is actually a good song. You know, I'm glad they chose a good song for that. You're no stranger to love. You know the rules, and so do I. I like the song. I like it. I actually listen to it. Rickrolling people's fun. I'd rather have it go to my shit, but that would be one way to do it. Is this updated? I think it is. Oh boy, that took a little while. Come on, Fusion, we're just doing a correction before I forget. Oh good, the largest of the percentiles. I take pride in having rickrolled dozens of streamers at this point. The famous one was the guy who somehow managed to rickroll Atlee. All right, that's your bed. That's pretty level. God, why did I forget the guy's name? Why am I, chat, why am I dumb? That's your bed. What is mine like? Here, we can just open it up. The old results will probably still be in here in the bed leveling thing. All right, let's go. Come on. You know the rules, and so do I. Oh yeah, here we go. This is me, but this is 0.2, so 0.5 is all the way up there. But like I said, mine's like a taco. I ran a piece of tape across the middle. I don't know why those corners are sinking down, though. Corners are sinking. Sinking, stinking. So yeah, you're pretty, I mean, you're like an exaggerated, that's huge right there. I don't know, you can shim it as much as you want, but I was able to do this, and what I did is I got McMaster car posts that went around where the springs used to be, and then I fixed the fasteners, and I took a file, and I just did like 1 or 2 filings in order to get them to be as flat as possible. And it was tough because you have to take the whole fastener out, file, put it all back together, put the whole bed sandwich back together, and then let it heat up, run the test. It was tough. Is this thing ready yet? Are you serious? 95 to 98 to 99 is the longest part of the process on this one. I don't know how they're weighting the different things that it's doing in order to give you like a tracker Status bar. Getting a machined glass plate. I mean, I have a glass plate. Mine is a special glass plate. Here, let me find it. I can talk about that. For my CR10S. Okay, everything is slow because of Fusion. Counts and lists, my orders, and then search up CR10. Scroll. No, it came up with nothing. CR10S. Okay, glass. Glass! I broke my glass water pitcher the other day. Oh, it was horrible. It was the middle of the night, and I went to fill it with water, and it slipped and dropped, and it fucking exploded. Couldn't find it. New upgrade, CR10S, tempered glass bed, 3D printer platform, 310, tempered plate, blah, 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 surface for CR10. So I gotta find that again, and then I can tell you guys what I'm looking at. CR10S glass, 310. So there's a bunch of different ones. CR10S Pro, blah, 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 blah. Official version build surface. Let's see if this is the one that I have. Yes. Okay, so this is the one that I have. I think it's probably Teflon. No edge curling, application, excellent flatness, super convenient, compatibility, blah, 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 blah. Now I use glass because, I don't know, it's very flat and it creates a nice finish. And I barely need to do anything to clean it. Every now and then I will run Windex on it, and that's it. But that's only every now and then. Between prints, as long as I'm not leaving a lot of... That is what you're using? Because, yeah, the build... I don't have a... Oh, here's a dead print. This isn't a very good one, but you can see it leaves this little dotted texture on the bottom. And then when you're done the print, you just kind of leave it, and it'll eventually crack off and do its thing. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. And I've, you know, barely cleaning the bed, all that stuff. Oh, come on. And it's been going great, and I've been able to level it pretty well. All right, let's see what your final results are. There's going to be a picture of, like, a butthole. Oh, no, this is actually legit. So, turn this to 0.2 or whatever. Turn your resolution up a little bit on it and see what it looks like. Because, like, when I do that, mine looks like, where'd it go? When I did that, mine looks like this. But again, it doesn't get up to 0.5. It's just a closer view of what things look like. Fatanon's been able to get his bed super duper flat. It's torture. It's just a way to torture yourself. Why is... Oh, Chrome is unloading tabs. Hold on a second. If Chrome is unloading for the memory of... Okay, so nothing has happened on YouTube. It's auto-scaling? I think I had to do something to make it not auto-scale, I think. But yours is also offset from 0, and I think you can control that. You can tell it to offset it a little bit differently. Or I think it's in Clipper. I was able to tell it my probe offset was a little bit different. And so that shifted it so that the, you know, mostly was in 0. I don't know. I forget. I did all this stuff a long time ago. I'm going to learn it all again when I do it again. When I do it again. What are you doing? Are you frozen? You're at 98% still. Come on. You stupid thing. Privileges in Penn Island? Yeah. Penn Island is what we always call our, like, multiplayer servers and stuff, because we really like pens. Like, you know, we work in pen most of the time. You really shouldn't work in pencil if you're doing engineering stuff, because in case you discover the latest and greatest new thing, if you've got pen notes with dates on them, then things are a little bit easier to hold up in court. What are these beds? It's the Creality CR10S. It's the printer on the right there that you can't see the rest of. The CR10S is a bed-slinging printer, and so it has a heated carriage that goes back and forth. Why did this no longer is updating? Yeah, adaptive would be good. I should probably run that. I just haven't turned that setting on. Update ready to install. All right. Chrome has already had a little freak out about the update, and now we're back with the this bug where it no longer updates this page. Yeah, see, we're stuck here, and there have been several comments after that. Yeah, 310 by 310 by 400. It's a weird size. It's a good amount of space, though. How do I reload the cache on this thing? Jody YOLO! For 15 months, Jody YOLO, thank you. That's very kind of you to support this channel, where we sit here and we update Fusion 360 laboriously. Name a window, reading mode, performance, task manager. How do I like clear the cache? New name, relaunch, and update. How do I clear your cache? Apply to user, text to speech. Delete browsing data does it for like everything, right? Cast, save, and share. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to purge it so that it works again. I mean, I can go to the website again. That would be, what was that called again? Social Stream. But then it just loads up all this stuff again, and see, this hasn't updated. Chrome freaks out when you start using too much stuff because it's doing what it should do, which is divvying out the memory that it uses. And it goes, wait, I don't have as much memory that I could use. I'm going to back off and let the other program use it. And so when it does that, it'll end up leaving this thing in the lurch, and then it breaks all of the connections and stuff. I don't know what it is. It like, this no longer updates to chat. Although I won't know that unless there are chat messages, and my chat's kind of dead right now. So I might have fixed it already, and I don't realize. Let me do a test. Yeah, see, it works again now. My test propagated. It's just that my chat is dead. Everyone's dead. The channel's dead. Everything's crashing down around me since I got canceled. Okay, so we've got this circuit that we've got to build on this thing, and the top PCB doesn't fit. So I need to make it fit, and in order to make it fit, where's Fusion 360? Where did it go? I told it to update and restart, and it didn't. Oh, there it is. What the hell was that? That usually means you have a virus. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's Fusion. Oh, having some memory issues on this computer here. Somebody's got a leak. I don't think there's a memory leak. I used to have one of the tabs of my Stream Deck would be how much memory is being used on the computer, because I had this weird issue with an audio. Not a weird issue with, sorry. I had a weird issue with a memory leak, and it turned out to be the drivers for the audio stuff, the Realtek audio on this motherboard. And it's like a known error, and the fix is just to not use their drivers. It just like fixes everything. All right, I'll set with the latest version of Fusion. There's never been a time that having the latest version has been that crazy. They update stuff that's like in the background of the background, and they make you install. So anyway, what we're doing is we are working on modular synthesizers, mod synth projects, and we are waiting for them to load in. Jesus. Nope, wrong one. Why did it open that one? You guys saw me click on the one. Jeez. Everything is kind of like loading in and letting itself acclimate. So what I'm looking at is the module testing module. I have hesitated to make a comprehensive 3D model of the whole thing. We just have a couple sort of parts assemblies. And so one of them is going to be the back panel, or the side panel rather. I call it the back panel. So we have the back panel with all of its plugs and stuff, theoretically. And I just go to this thing, and I can make it more narrow, or I can make that other PCB fit in. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to chamfer it. We're going to chamfer it. Let's take it in like that. All that matters is that it doesn't twist. And honestly, if I wanted this to look right, I probably should have put the screws down here, because then they would be even in between these two. I could have put the screws like here and here. No, it would have to be, because that's the axis for those. Could have put one like here and here, and then it would have been plug, screw, screw, plug, and it would have been a little bit more symmetrical. Oh well, I guess this is fine. I'm going to leave it the way it is. It's weird, and its weirdness is endearing to us. So that's going to take about 2 minutes to print. So I'm going to export this solid body, this guy right here, save as mesh, click OK, save, yes. I want to replace the file, go to my temp prints folder, which I closed. We'll go there from the desktop, and I'll hit the letter T. Boop. No, wrong, no, I don't want, no, I want the folder. Weird port, no, I mean temp prints. And then the side boob adapter is what we're putting in. And then we're going to start up Super Slicer. Where the hell did I put? I got to update some of this stuff. I need to clean up this computer. I don't know. Who has time to sit down and clean up a computer? It's too much like work. Proteus! I'm not dead. Well, I'm happy to hear that. My internet is working decently well today, so I can enjoy stream while gaming. Oh, hell yeah. I have a base to build an abiotic factor, and I don't know where I want to build it. If you know abiotic factor, you know how addictive that game is, and I've finished all the objectives, and now it's time for me to look to moving my base to a fancy spot. This reminds me of the GPUs that had 2 stacked display ports, and the top one had screws above it to secure the port to the back plate. Yeah, those display ports, they figure that, well, all the ones on the ATI graphics card that I have, sorry, ATI, they don't exist. AMD, the AMD graphics card, the 6900 XT, has a screw port right above all of the connectors, which is a smart thing to do. It's a small screw, doesn't take up a lot, it doesn't hold a lot of super duper a lot of weight, but it does make sure that your connector isn't going to rock back and forth microscopically over time and then crack and explode. Oh, look, this one's not updating either. Okay, I can refresh the cache on this one much more easily. Chat. There's the browser. What doing? Not nuclear bomb. I just want that to be clear. Oh boy, what I would do to get my hands on one of those devices that they set off recently in the whole conflict that we don't want to get into discussing. Because those are right up my alley, and they're probably not doing stuff that is right up my alley, though, to be honest. They're doing stuff on a much higher level than what I know, but to listen to all of the Reddit discussions, the uninformed Reddit discussions on how they think this thing worked is very frustrating. Chat, no blah 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 properties, and let's hit refresh the cache, and now that should probably come back up, and we'll be able to see stuff. For some reason, oh, I already read that one. Already read that one? Yeah, the AMD graphics are, use those screws, and I'm happy that they're there. I'm very happy that they're there, because that means that over time, your DVI connector isn't going to suddenly explode off of the board. Yeah, it's actually completely fucking wild. It's just shocking. Like, I can't even believe it that would be viable. Well, yeah, I know more than I let on about that kind of stuff. Not this specific thing. Obviously, that wasn't being planned 10 years ago when I was working with this stuff. But I do know a lot about that kind of stuff. This is on, but the screen isn't on. Huh. Let's get you guys a view of it. We'll go isometric from over here. I'll be a little bit far away. It is a very small part that is printing, though, so I probably should get you guys closer. Well, I can get you guys closer. That's why I bought this expensive thing that the camera sits on. It's a little unclipping thing, so I can literally just unclip you guys. Okay, it should have been easier than that. There it is. And then clip you in here. And now you've got a nice view of their 3D printer. Although I do need to put like a ring light around the tip. I should get like a little LED on a string. Someone heard about supply chain attacks in the tech world and went, hey, can we do it IRL? It's so crazy. They did it on a factory level, I guess. And these are like, I would assume that they're using some type of sheet explosive that replaces part of the battery. But I think since lithium-ion batteries, they probably have taken your typical pager design and like squished as much battery as possible into it, because these had like an extreme amount of battery life to them, like an extreme amount. So maybe they unextremed the battery life a little bit, and people were writing that off as, oh, it's just they're marketing fluff. They're claiming 10 million hours, and I only get 5 million hours. The chemistry is known already. Oh, interesting. I don't know too much about the chemistry part of it. I just know the triggering mechanisms and the typical practices around that stuff. Okay, so printer is on, but technically we're not connecting to it. So go here, go to Clipper, and it says we're connected and standby. I'm going to try to reboot the firmware, and we'll see if we get a serial number. If we get a serial number, then we're connected. Otherwise, it's going to... that's not true. Because if I go to put the BL touch down... Whoa, it went down. It went up. Okay, it works. So, all right, we can just send this over, and it'll take like 5 minutes to print. This will be the very last iteration of what we're working on here. Yeah, I mean, I never bothered to learn the chemistry. I knew some of the guys that knew the chemistry, but we were on the electronics side of it purely. And because of compartmentalization, we had no contact with other stuff, except maybe occasionally. What's up, Symmetrics? How you doing? Start print. Right, we need to go to Super Sluicer, and sluice it. I really could just make that cut myself. I could take a file to it. Displays are tough. I don't think I would be able to do that. An e-ink shelf display. These are those things that you came across that were the price-changing shelf displays. I don't know to what capacity I'd be able to do that, because there's a digital, there's a like not digital, like an RF element to it with signaling. I wonder though. You're stuck. And you're super stuck. You can catch me on Discord, and maybe you can send one in, and I'll take a look at it. But I don't know how far I'd get with something like that. I've looked at your the information you have on it, and I'm not sure. I'd have to take a look at it, like, you know, the data that you have on it so far. Again, with the expectation that I might have to reverse engineer it. I wasn't thinking on that frequency, and I don't remember a ton about it. 2510 chip? I don't even know where to start with that. I don't know what that is. It's heating up. It's heating up. So while it's heating up, we can start to think about what we're going to be doing with the board that goes on top of this board. So it seems like there is an orientation to this thing that I got to be careful of, where like it looks like it fits this way, but like this one, actually that might fit that way. That might actually be right on target. It just needs to like, yeah, that actually is right on target. So this is the top. So I'm actually going to mark that. I'm actually going to write top on it. Oh, I don't know. My markers aren't that permanent, are they? I'll make a mark. We'll do like a dot. Where's that permanent marker? The Sharpie paper writing pens are real nice, but they're not that permanent, and it's going to rub off the first time my hand comes into contact with it. That'll probably rub off, but whatever. There we go, mark to mark. Hopefully I remember. Been attempting to fixing the motherboard I was talking about months ago. We've had other people succeed in fixing motherboards on the channel, which is always neat. Now, our USB input is over here. So we plan on putting as much as possible onto this board. There's going to be a lot of interconnectivity because this thing is basically a digital signal broker among all of the other stuff that's on the board. We do not need to plug into USB. It would be nice if I could reach that button. I should probably put it all the way up on the edge, just for tradition, in case something goes wrong with plugging that in, because that's going to have to go around to this, or this has to go down to a connector. Let's see what I need the pinouts from the Teensy 4.1. I need like the full pinout. Oh no, 4.0, sorry. Let's get that wrong. I'm guessing that the 4.1 is a beast. Just an absolute beast of a processor. That's not even the right, what is that? No, this is the, that's not, oh, it's just down here. So, Teensy 4.0 pins. Program, ground, 3.3 volt, VBAT. Those are not the USB. So the only place that I'm going to be getting the USB on this thing is under on these. Oh my God, what is all this stuff? Data T1, data, there's D minus D plus, but then there's this whole business here. Is that for like a USB-C connector? What is that? It's like a special kind of connector. DAT2, DAT3, CMD, 3 volt, clock, GNG. What is that stuff? Oh, is that SD card? Oh, I see. Well, one thing that I'm thinking about is whether or not I want to have an SD card, because I might need to have graphics on it. Oh, you have the data sheet? Oh, I'm just going to look at this data sheet here. This is the processor for the e-ink displays. Oh, it's a lot. So CC2510 2.4 gigahertz radio transceiver. It's an 8051 MCU. So 8051 Arduino. Off topic, don't know where better to ask. For education, in quotes, I want to make a small project with an 8051. I feel like I used one of these in high school, or college. Reprogram it. Supported by either Arduino. It's not supported by Atmel. Darn. Yeah, the 8051 is a very known platform, but this is a specific version. They basically tacked on a very simple microcontroller to an RF device. Could add like Arduino to it. It's not gonna come up with anything, but we don't do followage commands. We're not about that. You can just like /user. Yeah, Ben Cyan Games, I remember you. How you doing? The adapter begins. Yoink. First print after setting up input shaping and fixed bed level. First print since kind of nothing. It's just, I'm just printing. I see a string in there, and that might affect our print. It doesn't affect my baby. Oh no, looks like we got away with it. As long as this first layer goes down smooth. Yeah, you can click on your username to see how long you've been following. Ben Cyan Games has been following since... Why isn't it showing me this? Oh, following since November 29th, 2018. There we go. There's your followage command. It'll be hitting 6 years. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this whole thing started out as me just kind of getting my creative chops out. Symmetrics, yes. You've been around for a while as well. This has been like a creative outlet for me. And I was sort of in the middle of like, it was the same day. What happened that day? Wait a minute. Did you guys come in on a raid? What happened? This has been like a creative outlet for me, and it just turned into like a regular thing because it's like, I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't be wasting my time in life. And so I decided to kind of get my projects out there. all the weird stuff I work on. And you know, one day I was working on stuff and I said, well, what if I do something to like put names up on something, like burn them with a laser up on like a board? And like, that's it. That's how it started. It was me just going, ding, oh, I could make this project. We've just been seeing where it could go. Arduino to a microcontroller on a breadboard. How to use an Arduino on a breadboard standalone microcontroller. Missing CC2510. Okay. ESP-CC flasher. I'm looking up flashers on the internet. ESP32 or TICC flasher. The software brings you the possibility to read and write internal flash of the Texas Instruments CC8051 series with ESP32 using CC interface. The following CC microcontroller is supported right now. What are we looking at? 2510, 1110, 2430, 31, 2510. Well, the metrics, this might be a place to look. ESP-CC flasher. I'll give you the link to that. Tootling around with one little piece of information, you can often get places, or you've already looked there, It's usually the case. Like if I'm just coming onto a project and I don't know all the like background to it, I'll be like, look at this thing that no, that doesn't work. I was stuck in a rabbit hole. I might have seen it. Yeah. It sounds like you can read the flash off of it though. Reverse engineering a hex file, if that's what you get, is not easy. I have a feeling you'll just get a hex file. Reverse engineering one is not easy, but since it's a known microcontroller and you have a known way to program it, you can just start over and figure out if somebody runs an e-ink display on it. Found a little board where somebody tapped into the debug pads and managed a firmware dump. Oh, hell yeah, see? But that's like tough to do because then the IDE is going to be stripping out all the human language out of it, putting it all into just command sets, and it's like, what is this? What's going on? Now there are programs that can undo that action, but then you need to step in and give it a little bit of that human input in order to make it into something that looks like software. And that in and of itself is its own skill. So it might be better just to learn how to program from the ground up. Not like forget everything you know about programming. Okay, let me take a drill to my brain. No, it's more like, you know, maybe you got to start over and with their hardware figure out what the software is going to look like. Ideally, just buy the hardware necessary to run these. Yeah. But I mean, you mean like the transmitter that can tell it to do stuff. In that case, you need to have some kind of a man in the middle. Trying to open. I can see it in my audio levels. Ah, got seltzer all over my hands. Trying to stay hydrated. Forget everything you know. Okay. I don't know language anymore. Just a wireless router with custom firmware. Yeah, before you make apple pie, first you must invent the universe. Which is the Carl Sagan thing. What's up, Demi? How you doing? Doing a little light 3D printing right now, and then we're going to jump into laying out this circuit. I could have also probably done a stream where we do 3D modeling. I think that would be kind of fun if I fire up Blender and start messing around with the car body. I think that would be kind of cool. I've told Demi I need him to send me like one of his models, and then I could try to 3D scan it. I don't have a good 3D scanner though. None of the 3D scanners I've tried were good at all. But I can scan it and then print it. That end string is really annoying. My dribbly nozzle. Hello, Ask Yahoo. My nozzle's dribbling all over everything. How do I fix it? That's part of the retracting settings at the very end of the print. I can send you a ticket shoe. No. I have one. I need to tune it a little better. Yeah, I'm not good at retracting. My pullout game is terrible. Wait a minute. That means something else. Dick Buttmobile. Does it have to be streamer friendly? Is probably, yeah, it should. Although I don't expect PostNord to be able to send anything from you to me without totally fucking destroying it. They'll be playing kickball with the package. So anything fragile will probably explode. Plus, okay, so here's the thing. I don't have the ability to 3D scan anything at the moment or in the future. It's still too expensive, even with that Creality $400 business thing that they got. I just don't have. I just can't. And I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm really gonna get into that. The printer is really good though. The new printer. You can pretend by looking at it really hard. Veins on my forehead popping out. I need to give this thing time. I need to wait for it to cool off, because if I remove it from the bed right now, it's gonna warp. Rock hard Pikachu. What am I reading in my chat? How long is this going to take to cool off? This bed takes a little while. This is why I've wanted to do the water-cooled bed, not just for the meme, but because I could run water through the bed and then it would cool it a little faster. Where's the bonk hammer? I think I have that emote. I think it's on BTTV. Okay, that's sort of it. Please don't post it in my... No, you're not allowed. That's not appropriate for my Discord. That'll get wiped and you'll be in trouble. How hot do you run your bed? Well, the sensor is all the way on the bottom of the bed, and it's a couple layers away from the metal that it's supposed to be heating, that the 120 volt bed is supposed to be heating. But when it does run, and I'm gonna look up my settings here in Super Sluicer, we are running 90 C, and the extruder's at 245. Now, again, these are from tests. These are results from tests, because everybody's printer is going to be different. Even the recommendations on the thing are like, go up to this temperature, and I'm like way above it. Doubles my bed temp. This is for PETG, and you can run tests that help you do this stuff. There's and actually for Creality CR10S, the tuning guide is really what you should be looking at. Is that under guide? Tuning guide. God damn it. Tune. Is it print guide? There it is. That's the one that I followed, and it was really useful. ABS requires even more temperature? Holy shit. Yeah, the bed temp is 90. That seems like it's kind of a lot for PETG, but that's because there's a big offset in temperatures because it's a glass bed. And I get to a certain temperature on it, but that was figured out experimentally. So sharing a number, it's not that accurate. My nozzle's 245. That's a 24 volt Hymeria. It's the whole like the one piece nozzle thing. So that's handling heat differently too. In order to come across that number, I did temperature towers, which Clipper can do. It can have it alter temperatures as it moves up. So it does a certain distance, a certain number of layers, changes the temperature, does a number of layers, changes the temperature. And so I used to have a bunch of those towers sitting around. And I found that 245 in my settings was about where everything turned shiny and pretty. So, all right, so that should be, possibly should be extractable. But that tuning guide really helped me get the printer to be much better than it has any right to be. And until I have cooling, I can't quite get super duper prints on it. Like with PETG especially, I can't bridge, and I have pretty bad separation from support. Ow, this thing's still hot. I got half of it off, but I don't want to bend it anymore. You know the rules. So, ow, so do I. I can't quite hit that note. I haven't trained my voice in a long time. It's been a long time since I sang. I still have somewhat of a radio voice, but been a little bit since I sang. All right, so the trick with these little breakout boards for USB is to have countersunk screws. If you have small screws that are countersunk, you can do quite a lot of cool stuff, like centering the holes. Otherwise, this would have been extremely loose, and the force of plugging it and unplugging it would have moved it around. So I can use the laptop screws on the outside because my holes are tight. You know, I catered my USB, well, my screw holes to be very tight against the threads. They don't grip, but they are tight against the threads. So when I tighten those down, they don't migrate a whole lot. And there's a little bit of overlap into the panel too that this thing will hit up against. But if I were to use those same screws on these holes are much, much larger. And so as the user plugs and unplugs stuff, they would eventually lose grip, and then the port would seem to be wobbly. Now, if USB port gets wobbly, it's not typically because of this problem. This is a problem that us DIY and makers have because we are using breakout boards. Usually you would have the USB connected to the same board as everything else. And when that's the case and you get a wobbly USB socket, it means shit's gone really, really south. It means that something very dire has broken. So in order to get this thing at the right height, what I'm going to need to do is file just a little bit because my 3D printer's sidewalls can tend to poke out a little bit. So I'm going to file that down just a little bit on the side. Not too much. My phone is half wobbly USB port. Sometimes you can look into how the port works, and I don't know, I haven't looked at a whole lot of USB-Cs, but over time, the thing that clips it in and holds that steady is going to bend back a little bit. So if you're very careful, and I don't make any guarantees, you might be able to bend a little piece of metal and have it do a little better. But it depends on the type of plug on the phone. I think most are using, well, civilized phones are using USB-C, but I don't know quite the ins and outs of the construction because USB-C is very particular. Sometimes these connectors are two parts and one unclips from the other and it all solders in and holds fast. Yeah, sometimes you can get away with like pinching it a little bit. But I'm not going to suggest you do anything because I don't want you to break your phone. How come that didn't go in? Oh God, I'm so sick of these. Like Zemetrix's comment is just gone. Did it go? It may have come in up here just fine, but since last June, I got into this game I've been playing most of the time since then, so I haven't had much time to watch a lot of other streamers. The game is Star Trek Fleet Command. Oh shit. I know a couple people that watched the Red Letter Media stream with Jack and Rich. They got really into Star Trek, the MMO, and they were like, bro, if you get into it, I'll give you all this money and stuff. I'm like, I'm good. Like, wait, money in a Star Trek game? Anyway. Yeah, those seem like they can be kind of addicting. All right, these are pretty tight. Tight. This is definitely not a good tool to be using to tighten these either. Oh wait, no, now it's there. My phone is a wobbly USB port. When did that? Is this program gaslighting me, or am I the crazy one? Have I gone insane? Am I unhinged? All right, so as I tighten these down, these countersunk screws are going to find the center of this hole and basically arrange this thing into the right spot and just keep it held. I guess I could countersink the PCB, but it's not important that these are flush. I'm using the countersink as a way to center the fastener on what is too big of a hole. I'm not using like an M3 to put this thing in place, right? These are, I think, M1 or M2. All right, and then we can just install this again, and now we're going to have a tapered edge, a filleted edge. Sorry, that's actually I keep messing it up. Chamfer sounds fancier, and in my mind, I consider a fancier countersink to be the rounded one instead of the one that's just at an angle and it's flat. And we did the one that's flat, and that is apparently a chamfer, and a fillet is a rounded edge. But again, because of the way my brain works, I thought one was fancy, and then that was the rounded one. It's listen, I don't profess to have a functional working brain. Well, I gotta get this in alignment before I put the screw in. Come on, buddy. There we go. Okay, it's not lining up. Why is this so sensitive to alignment? I think one of these was kind of a troublemaker hole. It's like, ow! Let's just force my finger down on this thing. Jeez. Ow. I'm gonna hurt myself doing the most mundane thing in the shop. Jeez. I have a knack for this sort of thing. Ah, what the fuck? Wait a minute. There's a reason that the screw didn't go through. What? This is what happens with small prints and PETG if your settings aren't absolutely dialed in and super duper locked in, is that stuff will not adhere to the bed at first. Code Rushed is raiding with a party of 78 people. You just brought a whole goddamn lecture hall in. You brought 78 people into my stream when I'm sitting here with all 4 of my normal viewers relishing over a 3D print that looks completely and utterly manky. No, thank you. No, I appreciate it very much. It's just, this is not the height of my ego. And my lack of a hole. I'm talking about what happens with PETG prints. Yeah, you get a little cool grid of dots. The matte surface is where there's Teflon, and then the print is gripping those shiny hole areas. If you print PETG like I do, what happens is the PETG sticks to the glass so well that over the course of heating and cooling, if you force your prints off of the glass bed, it will pull glass grains off. You'll get a grain of glass, which is where the glass molecules are arranged in a particular crystal structure, just like in metals, and they have particular little shapes on it. The PETG gets in and grips everything. And so if you pull it, it's got that grip. And so it'll pull off little grains of glass and ruin your bed. So in order to keep it from gripping, they have a special bed surface that has little holes. It's not like graphene or graphite. I don't know what the surface is, but it's some type of Teflon where it's not sticking to those surfaces. And so the little dots are what's going to hold your print on. Now, when you're printing small stuff and you're using PETG, I use it because it's soda bottle plastic. It's very strong. I don't have to mess a lot with the settings. Whenever I do have to mess with the settings, it's usually to turn things up, usually to make things hotter. What we did is we just modified this part in Fusion 360. I had a part that's holding on a USB plug. Here's the original. And it does not have a fancy flute player on this surface. So we put a chamfer on it, and now it is nice and angled, so it won't interfere with my circuit board that installs in just about the same spot. This is carrying the USB. This is my programming hole. I'm showing it live on Twitch. Programming hole, and then below it, I have a power hole. So here are all my holes. This is a modular synthesizer testing module. Now we're gonna have to, speaking of like Code Rushed and programming streams, zoom on the hands. Is this like a Code Rush thing? What's going on? Yeah, my big meaty fingers are quite enormous in the microscope, which is why I have several different kinds of pointing tools. Somebody's going to do a crime, and they're going to have my exact fingerprints one day. They will have gotten all of my finger prompts from this stream. So yeah, this is a modular synthesizer testing module. This is the 17 to 20th yak that we are shaving. This is a comprehensive project. It's going to live on a Teensy 4.0, which is a 600 megahertz microcontroller. Holy crap. 600 megahertz. Insane. We just finished the power supply. I'm wrapping up a little bit on the side panel where we get our where we fill our programming hole as well as our power hole. But then we're gonna start figuring out where all the meat of the project goes, the actual module synthesizer testing module. I have 6 universal I/O that I can then plug into a module. I have 2 channels that I can monitor for frequency, for voltage level, for whatever. Actually, I can monitor voltage level on everybody too. So there's gonna be some menus in this thing, and I've started an MS Paint document where I've started to kind of put together the different menu items, and there's gonna be modules that we need to figure out how they work. We've breadboarded pieces of all of these components, and now they're gonna actually start coming to life as I get all the hardware together and we figure out the specific software. Because I've been vetting out whether or not this microcontroller is capable of it. It is. And whether or not it's able to do the different tasks that we need it to, and then we need to wrap it all together. It's crazy. Welcome to the Yak Farm. Yeah. Just realized you mentioned Teensy, and I remember I did bring my Teensy here from my other house. Might have some pies and stuff if it's in my Teensy box of junk. Do you have a Wi-Fi router? Because maybe you can use that to hack the... I've been wanting to get a Dolphin Zero for quite some time, and I tried to buy one, and the credit card company said, hey, there was a shady purchase on your account. And I'm like, oh, man. I got to get that cleared with the management and then actually buy a Flipper Zero. I could use it to double up all of my remotes for like car stuff. So yeah, anyway, when you've got a bed like this, where it's adhering only to those little circles, and you've got a smaller piece, I'm printing in PETG. This should be strong enough for that, right? But this is basically built to survive the 800-pound gorilla that's going to be plugging in USB-C. Because, I'll be mad when I'm plugging this thing in. I'll be angry. I'll slam it in there, and then I'll throw the device across the room, break the VFD. I don't want this to be the breaking point. So we need it to be strong. The UV printer would probably be pretty good at this. It's just a lot of setup to do. So the FDM PETG printer is pretty well matched for this thing. We used countersunk screws in order to center it on the larger holes. That'll make sure that these two are coupled together nicely and they don't move around. But since it's so small, it ended up boogering, and the booger ended up where there should be a hole. And I didn't realize until I went to screw it in. So I need to find a drill bit that is just about the right size. Oh, look, there's a couple on the desk already. Look, there's a... There's a couple... Ow! I gotta not pick this thing up like that because there's through-hole parts on the M303. Through-hole parts are very sharp. So I went to pick this up and I got a bunch of needles in my fucking hand. Ow! Oh, look, there's a couple drill bits right here. Now that I've punctured my hand. How bigly are these? I need to make sure that these are like exact size. That is pretty exact. Have you worked with CCDs to make custom cameras? I was going to do that for a Willow cam because my absolutely adorable corgi used to come down here and sleep under the desk. We're the only 2 creatures in this house right now. She's sleeping at the front door, but she won't come down here when I'm streaming anymore. I think she just doesn't like all of the commotion because I act up for the camera. When it's just me down here working on like quiet stuff in between streams, she will occasionally come down here, only if there's a ruckus upstairs. So, some people pay good money to get poked with needles. Yeah, no. Where do I get in on some of that action? Not on the pay, not on the paying side. I would be on the paid side. We've been using the auto screwdriver as a drill, and it works really, really well. I bought these little screwdriver shuck things. They're kind of amazing. What's up, Epictetus? How do I say that? Epictetus. Epictetus. One day I'll learn how to use the language that I primarily speak and have not learned any others. Yeah, I was going to set up, not a CCTV, but I was going to set up a little analog camera that would sit under the desk and have like night vision because of those. My brother sent me a bunch of like shady Amazon products that were meant to go to, well, no, they were meant to go to him because he has an American address. But what they were is some other account wanted to write reviews for purchased products. So it was part of review scamming on Amazon. But he got sent a bunch of shady products that he wasn't willing to give to his kids, because there were things like alarm clocks with a little camera in it that has night vision. And it's like, oh, that's bad. Buy treats with points. I could make a little hopper that would poop out a treat. That's too many treats for her, though. She was up 4 pounds from her previous vet appointment a couple weeks ago. So we got to be careful with the Treatos, but she gets a lot of handouts, this dog. Because, I mean, she's absolutely fucking adorable. If you guys want to see the dog, you just need to go to my Discord. I'm constantly taking pictures of her because she is incredibly photogenic. She's an absolutely lovely puppy. I love her to death. Well, not quite to death. I don't want to kill her. I don't want to love her to death. But I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to move these holes down here and make them symmetrical between the 2 plugs, but that doesn't really matter that much, so I'm just going to leave it alone. I want to have an all-sky camera to watch the weather and night sky, but it needs to be color and night vision. Not sure how many companies make them cheap. There's a whole, you could put it in an alarm clock. There's a whole category for that. I'm sure for similar that sort of thing to that. For me, mostly it's video production, and the worse it looks, the better, actually. If like the microscope cam had like scan lines on it, I'd almost be good with that. I do want to have nice visuals, but the fact that the microscope camera gets a little glitchy is fine by me. I think that makes it special. So with Willow Cam, it would have been a really cheap, like, night and day vision camera, and I would have had it on a long cable going to a switcher. I'm still thinking about whether or not I want to do that. I want to run like camera wires through the wall, though. If I can get a Wi-Fi camera to put in the front hallway, I'm a little reluctant to do that even. I think that's a little too unsecure. But I would love to be able to do that to get a Willow Cam, because she should be a co-host. If I were one of these streamers where I'm doing like games, and I'm doing it in my bedroom that has all these neon fucking LEDs all over the place, and have like a bed behind me, it would be perfect, because then Willow would go to the bed and you guys would be able to see her do all kinds of adorable stuff. I found a clip of Willow from an old stream that I was looking through, because I was looking for that PDF earlier today. I was looking at an old stream, and I got a shot of her doing the most adorable thing she does. It's when she's lying down on the floor, and she kind of looks around, and then she looks to the side and gets a weird look on her face, and she starts leaning away, and all of a sudden, boom, she's on her back, and she grunts about it. It is the cutest thing ever. I don't know if she knows it's so cute, but it's very, very cute. It just goes blah and just gives up. It's like, oh, she died. Okay, so the power supply is done. We have current and voltage monitoring on all the channels. We converted our low side monitors to high side monitors using a fairly common current amplifier that worked almost immediately. I was able to just do one potentiometer to get it to be in the right scale. It reads accurately enough over the voltage levels so that I have minus 12, plus 12, and 5 volts that are going to the module under testing, and I can see if there's anything wrong with the current draw. The rest of the power supply is also powering the entire rest of this project. We're going to need a lot of voltages here. We're going to need 5 volts running up to the screen. We're going to need op-amp power, so 12 volts running to, I don't know if I'm going to put the op-amps on this board or if I'm going to take all those and bring them down to the next board. We haven't figured a lot of that out. We have vetted a lot of it out, and so I have a schematic for everything, which is this little guy right here. And I need to start making decisions. There's a lot of stuff that has to go into this project. I'm gonna get a sip of water. Oh, my water got bubbles in it. Willow's struggling for her life trying to roll over. I could find that. I could find that video. Where are we? Stream storage. Okay, so where was it? It was somewhere around, it wasn't around the time jump. It was like further back. That looks like a cool enclosure that would work for a little streamer vehicle to put a mini PC and camera connection in. There was talk about that. Like if I had a yard, I would put like a geofence up on some kind of a, what do you call it? Some kind of like a treaded vehicle. That would be really cool to do. What is this? 3D printing stuff. This feels like it was more recent. Yeah, this is what kicked it all off. This reverse engineering that I was doing on the M303 ended up kicking my butt so hard that I'm trying to reinvent all of it in Fusion 360, as well as making something that can test this. This is when I was choking myself out on 3D printer fumes. Where is that clip of Willow rolling? Oh, I'm never going to find it. Hey, Chimera. I'm never going to find... It might have been this stream, actually. Wait a minute. You know the rules, and so do I. I feel like it was way before this, though. I feel like it was older than this. Oh, fixing my mouse on the fly. This feels like yesterday. When is this from? 2024. Oh, we're too recent, I think. I was looking through these trying to find that repair document, and it turns out it wasn't a PDF, it was a GIF. It was a GIF. Now, during one of these, I flipped to Willow, and she does the cutest thing ever. And I lost that clip. I don't know where it is. Have you done IRL streams before? You know, I was considering it. The closest to IRL that I think I'd want to get is showing me working on my car. That would be a good one to do. Look at this short-haired hottie. What is this guy doing? See, look. These streams, I had Willow participating. I don't know what she's kind of just going nuts with her bed, but she doesn't do that anymore. She doesn't hang out. What is this not? This isn't the real world. No, we're all in a simulation. She's so cute. But yeah, so... Oh, look at that bubby. Look at her. Look at that bubby. That makes me laugh. She's so cute. She starts biting me. Jeez. That's my bubby. I'm looking for a clip of her falling over on her side, the way that she likes to roll over, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. These are too old. I think it was fairly more recent. And also that one of me holding her upside down is pretty cute. So I think that satiates the willowness. But like, there's all kinds of streams like this where, you know, like, see, there's Julian. Julian doesn't come down here anymore. No, I need to have Julian over. We can do another stream, but so this wouldn't show Willow. I don't know. She just doesn't like it anymore. It's too loud for her. She likes her quiet. These are all the things that I'm going to have to categorize when I upload them to YouTube. I got to click through these and find the major stuff that gets done. This is too old. We'll get to the layout of the circuit in a minute. These are printer upgrades, my latest round. And then this is the light up rack mount thing. I'm seeing if I can find that clip, but I don't think I can. Oh, here's the shady things that I was talking about. So these are like, so you can video monitor your kid in the car seat behind you is what they advertise these for. These are the shady Amazon products that my brother gave me. I didn't keep a lot of the hardware from these. I kind of threw out a lot of it. I still have the smartwatches, but I have no idea like how even to approach reverse engineering it. Panda Sand, how you doing? I posted in Discord of my first layer. It's in the anything help chat because it's not good. All right. You put in anything help instead of the 3D printer section. You're going to get a lot of conflicting advice. Oh, the video's terrible. This would have been the quality of Willow Cam. It would have been all right. But she doesn't come down here anymore. She doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Oh, look at how awful that video is. It's great. Oh, that would be really good for just a tiny little camera to sit like in the corner or something. Yeah, this is what she used to do. She used to come down here and she used to just pass out. And it was great. It was good for stream because I could put that up on camera. I could talk to you guys. I could be loud and she wouldn't care, but she doesn't do that anymore. We don't get this anymore. She does this to the front door and the front door doesn't appreciate her as much as I do. 3D print channel looked like it only talks about 3D printers, not help. Yeah, that's, well, I think you're totally fine to have posted it there. That's for sure. The 3D print channel, like if conversation's moving, they can tend to kind of steamroll stuff. A sleepy dog. I'm looking for a really good clip of the dog that I wish I had clipped back when this was on Twitch. Oh, this is when I fell down the stairs and fucked up my finger. Nope. 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 Keep moving. Somewhere up here. This is when I got that terrible haircut from the weird barber. Here we're working on computer stuff, so it's way further on. It was somewhere in the saga where I'm working on the M303. The world's safest bandsaw, by the way. I have a very safe bandsaw. Where is that? I lost the clip. All right, whatever. It's not this one. This is building modular synthesizer stuff. Eventually we get into... There's a butt. There's a little clip of her, but that's not of her rolling over. I will find it. Oh no, that's where she went to bed under the desk. See, this is the quality of cutaways that I wanted to have on the stream. Oops, sorry, you guys can't see. Is her sleeping in a window on my computer. Tried to go down the stairs like The Grudge. Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time. Ended up breaking his finger. I woke up with my whole skeleton hurting. Basically, my eyes opened and then I went, ah! Although I couldn't scream because breathing is what hurt. And so I had vague memories of sort of a blurry image of me going down a flight of stairs. And I was like, what happened? And it turns out one foot hit the other and I slipped on the way down the stairs. I was trying to go way too quick. All right, the clip is in here. I think it might be this one or the next one, because that bother sign is on the tray in just the right spot. But she's sleeping in the lab for this one, so I think it's the next stream. Or the one after that. What's up, Lawn Dog? Yeah, wakes up, all engine warning lights come on. That's what it, yeah, that's essentially what it felt like. It was rough. Oh no, I moved the sign again, so it's not this one. It might have been that previous one, or the one before it. Oh! Oh, look at the dog. Oh my goodness. There's the puppy, look at her. One sec, I'm gonna mute. Willow, why don't you come down here? Puppy dog. I don't think she'll come when I call like that. Look at this. She's like, this is, I think, where she's making the decision that she doesn't want anything to do with me. It's like, you know, this guy is weird. I don't feel like being around. I didn't mute. Oh, my... So, Stream Deck has been freezing. Why do you freeze? You don't do anything. You're barely a thing. You should take up so little memory. All right, let's, I gotta start up. Wait, there's still an update on this computer, but it already restarted itself. Or no, it didn't. Yeah, that's right. So Stream Deck, I gotta start up the app again, and then it'll get working. And then I'll actually have the ability to mute. Or it'll put up a big exclamation point. Yeah, okay. Okay, mute works. All right, so back to what I was doing before. Close this. Sark's emotes are wonderful. Sark is a wonderful person. He's very friendly. Playing. Well, the dog isn't... Okay, she blinked. So, this is not the one where she does the stretchy. I gotta find this clip. It's like one of the cutest, and I explained about it earlier. And yes, I am getting very distracted instead of actually making decisions and working on this thing. I am doing the whole executive function disorder thing and not actually working because I'm looking at cute puppy things. Look at how cute she is. As I pick up a piece of a treat, she's like, nah, I'm good. That's a puppy. So here I'm working with a modular synthesizer module that I cracked in half. I blew it up, I cracked it in half, and I'm going to repair it by building it and then connecting all of the different elements of the circuit board to all the other elements of this thing. And then it won't work because maybe not because of my workmanship, but something in there got really frustrating. I don't know why this thing didn't work. This is another project that I'm going to benefit from having a module testing module. And I'm looking for a particular clip where Willow just kind of falls onto her back while sitting there. Is it worth all of this effort? No. But by God, I'm going to find it. Talking about the solder gun. Oh, that might have been it. No, not quite. Well, she's looking kind of salacious. What are you doing there? Look at that. Showing off that corgi butt. What was that all about? She does this thing where I hear like grunting in the other room and I go over to check it out. Like, why are you making all this noise? And she'll be lying on the ground like nothing happened. She'll just be lying there like, hey, everything's fine. And so I'll go back to work and I'll hear more grunting and I go, what are you doing? And I go over to look at what she's doing and she's at a completely different angle, but still sitting in the same direction. Yeah, that's not where she gets up and leaves. It's close though. But the shot that had the right orientation of objects was a little bit further. It was this one, I think. You got to see the lunar eclipse. We've been having like super cloudy days here. I'm explaining something to her. She's not listening to me. So she gets scritches. If the stream start soon wasn't right there, that would have been a good clip to have as just like a landing page with the stream URL behind it. I know that feeling of searching for a long time to just find a specific thing. As in a previous life, I reverse engineered IEDs. We would get things that were built into products, and those products were impossible to find because it was just like garbage they would take. And so I had to figure out exactly where the garbage came from as part of our characterization of what this device was. And so you could do a cop-out. You could just say it's in a plastic product. But I wanted to have that edge. So I would spend, back when Google was good, I would spend hours and hours just looking through product listings and stuff. I would go on page 12 of AliExpress. I got to the end of Google several times. I've seen 2/3 of the internet now at this point. I have gone through the back rooms of Google search results and I found gold in them. It took 3 hours of looking through, and more than that, let's be honest. And I was actually able to find a product that was in the shape of Friendly Bear that was something that was modified, probably out of a garbage pile. Insane. I got to the end of Pornhub. There were no more results. Nothing was loading. It was insane. There was a guy in a top hat. I don't know. He spoke backwards. So that's one where Willow just, so she got this furunculitis, I believe it's called, where if there's liquid on her back for too long and a particular groomer that maybe doesn't sanitize their tools enough, she got kind of like little tiny scabs on her fur. And so the emergency vet, because it was on a weekend, took a chunk out of her butt to let you know how thick the corgi hair is. Look at that. And that's with it just starting to grow back in. She's got undercoats and undercoats. Not just me going to the end result. They should have like a guest book that you can sign at the end of Google. Like if you've gone through more than 10 pages and you get to the end of results, you should be able to sign a guest book. I've been here. I would have signed it way too much. So the question is, during the stream, does she actually go back downstairs to her spot? Oh no, it looks like, look at this. See, she used to, oh, you guys can't see. She used to sleep soundly under the desk while I streamed. What happened to that? Maybe we'll get back to that, but then you begin using other search engines. Man, I don't know. Bing didn't exist when I was doing the IED job. I didn't end up using that. Usually we drill down to like AliExpress or just Alibaba, actually, not AliExpress. Because, you know, the products in stores that were sourced from AliExpress ended up being thrown out and then modified into something for nefarious purposes. Literally trash in order to look like trash. Yeah, she used to stick around. This is insane to me. Because she does not stick around anymore. Oh, there she is outside of the... This might actually be the shot that becomes... Man, this was a stream for getting alternate angles of Oh Bother. These are all of the angles that I don't like you guys to see. Oh, but then she's back under the bed. Or under the... Oh, here it is. Is it? Wait a minute. This is... So everything about this shot right here looks like the clip where Willow fell over on her side. Oh, this is a different one. That's the same maneuver, though. There it is. That's close to it. The other one was very long-winded, but it's basically she goes, huh? Hey, Runecar Snowpen. What's up, Runecar Snowpen? It's been a while. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of old names today. Oh, maybe she'll do it again. Huh? Huh? Can you use the scroll wheel to move the search bar in the video? Media Player Classic doesn't do that. I like it because I can press buttons and go forward and backwards. You got a dog. Yeah, she's about two and some change years old now. And we've had her for a little while. She's gotten me out of the house and walking around and stuff. And she's a very good girl. She's very cute. I think the little clip that I pulled up earlier, the one from way down below on earlier streams where I had her upside down in my hands, that one was way cuter. But this one is still one of the cute moments. Yeah, she's super cute. She's a little corgi. Who's licking her private parts there. Somewhere in this stream, it has to be somewhere in this stream. I think the next thing that she does when I click back to her, she's gonna do the maneuver. And it's the same maneuver that we just saw. I just wanted to find the exact clip that I found. Oh, she's already gone? Huh. Did she come back downstairs? No, she comes back in and sleeps under the desk. She has a little den under my desk. What am I looking for? There's a really good clip of her doing that maneuver that we saw earlier where she kind of goes, like onto her back and onto her side. It's very, very cute. And I just wanted to find it again. Yeah, give up and lay down. She just kind of gives in. As well. See, but the problem is now, if I'm streaming, like exactly like I am here in these clips, if I'm streaming like this, she just goes away. She leaves. She gets insulted and gets up and goes somewhere else, which is really, really disheartening. I wanted to come in and participate again because it was fun to have the dog on the camera while I worked. She's a really good co-host because she's just naturally extremely cute. Now, is this the one where she scarpers off to the... See, I'm having trouble finding... Oh, here it is. Wait a minute. Unless this comes up blank. This is how I do the searching for all of the video minutes that I put into YouTube. It's what takes so long about uploading. She senses that I'm busy. There we go. So this is... Oh no, never mind. She's already on her side. Maybe she'll reposition. Yeah, this is where I film a dead dog. This is my Logan Paul moment. Okay, in the clip, that bottle has been knocked over. So I think this might be for tomorrow. I think maybe the next day or the day after. Whenever I knock over that bottle, look at her. Blah. Classic Willow. That looks like the beginnings of it. Wait a minute. Huh? Ear goes up. I think she was fully visible in that. Oh, and then she just leaves. Yeah, okay, so this isn't it. It's maybe this stream. We already looked at this one though, and it didn't look like she was on it ever. Making cables, doing science stuff. Doing the science stuff. We're doing the opposite of science stuff. We're looking for videos of Spider-Man, aka my cute dog. We're looking at Willow, the corgi puppy, and her cute behavior. There was a quick one there. Okay, that's just her looking sullen and distant. Now, that's a lot of cameras going on at once. We already 3D printed something today. We'll get to the layout. I'm getting distracted. Listen, I get to get distracted. It's my stream. I saw a clip inside of a clip. What was that? So there's that. There's that. That one. The arrow keys. I'm bashing the arrow keys to seek back and forth. Okay, so that's all that stuff. It's the same camera, so I would take that camera and clip it back onto the tripod, and that's where I do that here. Now, the Twitch TV Oh Bother thing has been moved. I remember that being there and the bottle being, the CO2 bottle being knocked over. So perhaps it's not on this one. It was a very cute clip. It's going to be totally underwhelming after I've hyped it up this much, looking for it. You guys are going to see it and be like, nah, it's not that fun. That wasn't that good, Bother. I don't know why you hyped that up so much. I think it was probably a little too much hype. Maybe try to unhype a little bit, and in the future, take notes about, you know, where you find cool stuff so that you can show us things without being such a fuckwit. There she is. This is a cute puppy. See, it's like, I don't understand why now me doing this, and I think maybe it's because the stool made a scrumping noise. It won't be underwhelming. It's a cute doggy. Yeah, seriously. Look at that corgi butt. Don't look at my butt. Look at the corgi butt. Okay, it doesn't help that my giant fat body takes up 95% of the screen. Yes, it's all coming together. There's the corgi butt. He's off causing trouble. So this was a cursed build. This is supposed to be a Bic and Tick filter, which means it's using digital switching methods in order to look at all the butts. No, just the corgi butt. Just the corgi butt. It's using a digital switch in order to put different capacitors on an op-amp filter, I guess, that changes how it integrates. When you put a capacitor on the feedback of an op-amp, it's like an integrator. And so if you switch different capacitors on, you can make kind of a weird, funky sounding, cool filter. So I tried to build it, but it was built for a larger rack. So I snapped it in half. And when I snapped it in half, I severed a bunch of the traces. So I built back a bunch of the traces, and then it didn't work. So I got kind of pretty heavily discouraged with this one. I'll need to get back to it when I can have a proper module tester. I think it'll be good to get back to that one, because it's the whole hacky thing about it is having severed the circuit board and made it fit into the Euro rack. They'll use similar power anyway. So I have the shot composition. I don't have the Oh Bother sign, the Twitch TV Oh Bother sign. So perhaps it's 3 days later, and because I'm a lazy streamer, I'm the laziest of lazy streamers, I didn't move the camera at all. When you get a setup that works, it's like a house of cards. You kind of keep it totally clean and never touch it. They always look like they have such a strut going on. Yes, she really does. Some might call this chaotic, but I totally understand what you're doing. It's a personal thing now. Yeah, the clips are snapping through pretty chaotically. Look at this butt. Look at the corgi butt. It's right there. It's right there. We've all been sleeping on the corgi butt. Wait, that doesn't sound right. I don't know what that means. Puppy sprayed. Wait, what was I spraying the... Oh, because she had like an antibiotic spray for her butt. That's Will. This is Willow reading the sign from a distance. Going, you need to what? Wait a minute. Oh, that's a perfect shot right there. That's great. Except that Acme brand is somehow in the foreground. I could just get a clip of this. I'm going to do that real quick. Do I need a little bit more context? Yeah, I need a little bit more context. We'll get down to like the top of the bag. It's hard to tell what you're looking at without the floor there. But I don't want to get Acme in the shot either. Wait, what did I hit? It was like... I don't know if that retains its comedy. I'm just going to post that without context into my Discord under the pets stuff. Perfect. Okay, anyway. Comedy gold, I say. She's kind of running away. Oh, because she has a bone. I think she got a bone for being a good girl or something. Oh, now we're depressed. All right, so a little later on, she's doing her thing. Yeah, she keeps, I think because I sprayed the scabs on her back at this point, she was constantly, you know, irritated by them. Now, is that where she just left? Did we miss the clip? Because that was the shot composition. So it might not even be in this stream. It might be the next one. I'm getting very distracted right now, but I mean, I've been kind of burning out on a lot of this stuff, and so it's good to take a little time. I know I haven't streamed in a while, so I have no excuse to be burned out, but I do a lot of work on this stuff in the background. So we're kind of just relaxing and having fun with this stuff. This is when the modules started to actually start working. The thing that eventually allowed me to fully repair, and not repair, to fully get these things working, was to reflow a lot of the different solder joints. I needed to know the voltages of the various components and stuff that were on this board, like where they should stand when idle. And that took a lot of back and forth with some people who knew how to like build these things, and I really shouldn't have wasted other people's time with my problems, because my problems revolved around my work. They were personally just soldering issues with the very, very tiny components of these things. So it was a very good idea for me to go over this stuff again. It was one of those things where, like, when you put your probe onto a pin, it makes a connection suddenly. So when you probe it, you're like, this is fine. And when you remove the probe, everything looks broken. I learned a lot over the course of these streams. Oh my God, show the puppy already. What was that thing on the table? Which thing are you talking about? Do you mean this over here? That is a hot wire wire stripper. It's a hot stripper that I put on the table. Basically it's a transformer that heats up a plate that has like a tapered hole, and you put the wire in, you go to the tapered hole, twist and pull, and that perfectly strips the wire. If you're working with like a whole wiring harness, that thing is amazing because you can get consistent strips on everything that are like perfect, and then you dip the wire into a solder pot, and it tins it perfectly. The alternative to a solder pot, by the way, because solder pots are exceedingly, incredibly, hilariously dangerous. Solder pots, it's like 600-degree Fahrenheit liquid metal in a pot. Not a safe thing. Not cool to have around. It's not a good idea. Hot solder, it can let off like chemicals and stuff too. The alternative is not all that divorced from chemicals, but if you want to perfectly tin a wire that you've gotten a perfect strip on, dip it in solder paste, because solder paste has all the fluxes and it's got all the solder, you know, in sort of a emulsion. And then you add the solder heat to it, it'll perfectly tin your wire. It's kind of amazing. How does a solder pot work? A heater? It's literally just a heating coil. No, it's just a pot of solder. It's literally what's on the tin. There's nothing special. Where am I going? This one. This would be a great BRB screen. That would be a really good one. Yeah, okay, so we do a couple tricks with her. Yeah, good old lead fumes. We love it. I don't think they let off lead fumes, do they? I'm not sure. I've never dealt with a solder pot. Every time I've seen one in the labs that I've worked in, the technician's always like, don't heat that thing up. Don't use it. We don't like that. We have one when we do big wiring jobs, but we don't use it. We don't like using it. Oh, look at the sass. Look at the sass. There's the sass. Sass. Just pure corgi sass. Give me that sussy sass. Somewhere later on in the stream, I'm going to end up going to the camera that's looking outside of the shop. Yeah, this is the one. This is it. I can smell it. We do a bunch of work that looks like I'm doing something productive, but don't be fooled. I'm doing the opposite of productive things. I'm actually making more work for myself in doing this stuff. Because I tried a bunch of stuff to try to troubleshoot this. Nothing worked. I was so mad at this circuit. And I checked it over several times. I rebuilt it several times. I found a decent way to solder cable ends, stick the cable into the solder paste, and heat it with a lighter. I would heat it with a soldering iron because the lighter you can get way too hot with. But yeah, that's essentially the method that we found to be amazing, especially on the solid stranded wire wrapping wire. If you've got to solder those to like little IC pins, if you take the solder syringe and you just dip your wire into that, it'll perfectly tin the end, and then you can solder it to like an IC leg very easily. I guess this isn't the one. Is it the next one? These are some fun streams. I really liked building the modular synthesizer stuff because it was sort of a driven task, and I had like a guide on what I needed to do, and I could sort of modify things in my own way. Right now, working on this module testing module, I don't have as much of a guide. I sort of know what I need to get done, but if you can smell a video, that means you have synesthesia. Yes. Good old synesthesia. Boop. Boop. Ooh, that was a bad hair day. Do we clip the willow at all during this one? Maybe not. I gotta find that clip, man. I guess I already displayed the behavior. Maybe it's not so necessary no more. I was looking through these looking for what I thought was going to be a PDF, but it was actually a GIF. And the GIF, yeah, if I had better tools, Runecar, I could absolutely do that. If I had better tools, if I had like AI that scraped this, I could search, I could ask the AI when I did something in a clip. That would be a very powerful thing for me, because then I could put together videos using it. But hey, AI, when did I do blank blank? Instead, what I've done is I've uploaded a lot of videos onto YouTube, and the videos that I've uploaded onto YouTube, I put in time markings that represent all the stuff that I get up to. And that also helps you guys, you know, because they're big. They're like 5-hour videos, so I don't necessarily think you guys are going to sit there and watch the whole thing in one sitting. And if you don't, then you can just watch the time stuff. Was it really this one that I did it in? This is a big labeling and parts stream. I can't believe I'm having so much trouble finding this clip. No shots of the dog, this one. Okay, so let's try the next one. There's like a time skip too, where the videos are actually on the other hard drive. I don't think I'm going to be able to find this dog clip. We need to start talking about what we're going to do with the modular synthesizer module testing module. If you have that with an algorithm, wouldn't you risk the AI selling information on those clips? What do you think YouTube's doing in their back end? Like, I would wager just a very crisp $5 bill that YouTube has something like that. There's no dog clips this stream. Wait, there's a dog clip. She's asleep under the... See, she used to do this all the time. We're now looking at 2-ish weeks of streams. Actually, more like 2 months of streams. And all of them have the dog sleeping under the desk. I don't know what I did lately that scared her away. It used to be her, like, spot. She used to hang out all the time. I mean, you grow up and you go through phases, and then you disappoint your parents, and that's what she did. I'm very disappointed in my dog. This is a Julian stream. Is that Dave? That's Dave. That's the guy whose module I'm supposed to be fixing. So there's no Willow in this one. It's Julian and Dave. And this is what kicks off the 303 reverse engineering that broke me. David McClellan. News of his death and me playing his music. Ah, that might have been it. Actually, I think that's the beginnings of it. Pee pee poo poo. Where did the clip go? It's like 1 second of footage. Blah 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 blah. Solder 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 blah 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 blah. Damn it! If I'm correct, it would be around here. If it is in fact this stream, if I remember it properly. This thing frustrated me so bad. We got this one partially working, but all the adjustments were doing stuff that they weren't supposed to do. Like, we got waveforms out of it, but everything was just all over the place. Very, very frustrating. And it could have been that I didn't measure some of the components properly to get, like, careful values, because it's analog, and analog stuff exists in order to frustrate you. Somewhere in here, I clipped to the dog. Or maybe it's the stream after this. I was so used to having the dog in the shop that I didn't do frequent updates about the dog. You can see it. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the reason why she's not down here so much anymore. Maybe it's the fact that I didn't pay enough attention to her. Maybe it's my fault. I think she just grew up and she's like, you know what? I could use some quiet. I'm gonna go nap. Didn't we already look at this one? I think we did. Me looking terrible. Working on removing stuff. Oh, where's the dog today? Under the desk. Look at that. Apparently, I set up that shot, and that shot persisted for like months before I actually got around to getting the cute clip. Yeah, there's no good tool. Like, maybe if I got a better video player or editor. I have just what works for me, which is Media Player Classic. But was it live skeleton reaction? This is right before I started the skeleton speaker project, which was the first stuff I put on YouTube, and that ended up on another drive. But that I was looking at these clips earlier today looking for where that M303 repair is. But yeah, the Skull speaker did not end up working. I tried some of the very simple how to make a little electronic speaker circuits, and we had a lot of cool stuff. Like I was going to install all the electronics parts external to the skull and make it look all cyberpunky, but it just didn't work. It just didn't work for some reason. I was like, this circuit is so simple. Why is this happening to me? I don't get it. I don't see this clip anywhere in these, and it was I should have made more of a mental note about where it is. We already saw some cute clips from Willow though. So maybe we'll leave it at that. Oh my goodness. Look at that little bubby. It's her hanging out under the desk during the beginning of stream. And I was being about as loud as I am right now, and she was totally fine with sleeping during it. It's frustrating because she could have been my co-host. I want her to be prominent in all of these streams. About the same area? No, looks like we're too into the work today. Too into the work to check up on Willow. What about this one? You get used to, like, one of the things that you have to do when you do work like this is you gotta get used to your own voice. I do a little bit of audio filtering and stuff. This is where I'm talking about how awesome John B streams are. The one thing is, like, I had to get over my own voice very quickly. See, look, the shot's all wrong. The Twitch TVO bother is no longer right there. And the bottle isn't here and knocked over. Well, we do have cute clips of Willow in abundance. I don't know how many we're going to have to do, or we're going to be able to get later on, because she just doesn't come down here anymore. But I wonder, that puts her in the right position. Maybe just a little later on. I got to give up. I got to give up. This has been too long. We've been doing this too long. I'm just getting distracted. Your computer just blue screened? I think that computers are intrinsically designed to do that every now and then, just to keep you on your toes. Like, just one anomalous blue screen every now and then, it keeps you humble. You know, you're getting a little full of yourself. You think that you've designed a system that works perfectly. All the components you selected work together perfectly in harmony in order to create your computing platform that you know and love and have personally catered to your own needs. Every now and then, that has to just burp. And that burp causes a blue screen, and you go, oh no, everything I've done, all of the selection, all of the parts that I've carefully catered to work together in harmony do not agree with one another. They hate each other, in fact. They are at odds, and they will never work, and my computer will never, ever work again. It keeps you humble. Check the error codes. Yeah, system logs are something that I'm just starting to learn how they work. Oh, these are so annoying, these parts. Soldering all this stuff was very difficult. The form factor of the smaller surface mount stuff, while it may look great in CAD, things are a lot smaller than you think. And unfortunately, because of the size of the components that I was putting together on these things, it looks like, under the microscope, it looks like the normal sized stuff that I would put together, right? It looks like the things that I normally put together on this stream. But it is in fact an order of magnitude smaller than what I'm used to working with. And so it makes you look clumsy. You go onto the microscope and you go to, like, oh, I'm just gonna move this resistor. You can't do it, it's too small. This is when I was emailing Toil about his programming stuff. All right, I can't find it. I don't know where the funny dog clip is, but it was exactly what I was talking about, where she, and we saw that earlier, and it was a different clip, but where she just kind of goes, ah, and just sort of falls over. All right, so we fixed the USB slot. This thing now fits without interference. I'm just going to test that. Oh yeah, It actually still butts up against the 3D print. Shouldn't that go a little further in? Isn't that illegal? Get out of here, Neil Breen. Isn't that immoral? Okay, so this does fit. It hits right up against that 3D print, which is funny because it didn't before. It hit up against it, and I guess it didn't quite align. I think this will be okay, though. There's an error code that appears when you get a blue screen, such as FXC 3000. There, in the system logs, I think it has unexpected power events, doesn't it? I think there's something akin to that in the system logs. I just don't know how to use system logs. Also wasn't able to write a system log before it powered out or something. Those error codes are not filled with nonsense. you should definitely pay respect to the error codes that you're getting. Okay, anyway, we got to fit a bunch of components on this thing. Now, of the functionality here, I have a lot of I/O for this. The thing is, we have 6 of these modules that are outputs. Oh, sorry, 3 of them. Sorry, 3 of these modules that are outputs. 3 of these are outputs. We have a 2-channel input module. We have a port expander for all the buttons and some other stuff. I have a couple power connectors because I figure I might, hey, Gamer Pino, I may plug in 1 or 2 things. And since this is going to be a stack of boards, the next layer is this board, which takes up this much space. That leaves an open area right here for me to have my power connectors. Now, I could do a power connector directly off of this into the IDC. I kind of would rather have the plug-in things. That way I can have like 2. Because I don't think I'm going to do more than 2 modules sitting in the test area. And if I do, maybe I can leave a little room for them. But I can just do 2 power plugs like this. And that way they'd be reachable from the back here where I'd be plugging stuff in. It restarted, not I restarted. That sucks. I don't know. Yeah, you're going to have to either look up how the logs work or trust in advice from chat. They haven't led me astray. That up on the edge, it'll have a wire coming off of it that plugs in down here. Because I've got to solder these USB connections direct. That's annoying. That's really, I don't know why Stoffergan did this. It would have been nice if the pins all the way over at the end of this chip had USB on them, but it doesn't. Your D- and D+ don't go out to here. Although that is a circuitous route that it would have to take across the entire board. I understand why that might be a little bit annoying, but ground 5 volts are on those 2 pins, and then we have D- and D+. Then we have our external 5-volt cutoff, and I guess a ground pad. I can put 2 wires on this that then go to a plug that will be under the footprint of this thing. But then when you unplug this from the board, you have to unplug this, and then you have to unplug the connector in the middle. It's bad. Need to rapidly take a photo. Oh, is it repeatable? I think you're best looking up how to do system logs in that case. If it's repeatable and you're doing this error over and over again, check CPU temp, make sure CPU or graphic cards are properly put in. The old unseated card thing. Yeah, has your machine been jostled at all, or has you've just not touched it and it starts going bad? The thing that my friend would always do to me is when I start talking about some kind of issue that I'm having, back when we had to do like IRQs and weird stuff to get our weird hardware working. This was in the days that most people didn't have to do IRQ stuff, but we always pushed our systems so far and had weird hardware plugged in that we had to go in and do all this under the hood stuff. And I never quite knew strongly what I was doing, and so I'd get advice from a friend of mine. And the most irritating thing that he would do to me, that most of the time was always right, was he would go, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, what did you do?" He said, "What did you do? What did you change?" I said, "I didn't change anything. All I did was plug in this board and then move this wire, and then I changed a jumper setting, and then I clocked it up a little bit. And then I turned the computer back on and something went wrong. It was fine for a while, but then something went wrong. And so he would always drill me down, like, what did you change? What one thing did you change? I'm like, I didn't change one thing, I changed 5. He's like, well, it's going to be one of those 5 things. So I kind of revert back to that when I don't know enough to have a proper assessment of what one should troubleshoot. I just say, what changed? So that's a 5-pin connector, or is it a 6-pin connector? This is going to need a 6-pin connector. I'm not going to put connectors under this because I'd like to have these boards able to just like sit on a table. I don't want to have weird standoffs and plugins and stuff. I haven't touched it since I got it a year ago. What the heck? And it's consistently restarting? It's something like have its final heat cycle. Those are going to require the reference voltages. And then the op-amp circuits are going to need a lot of potentiometers. So 2 plugs will save me a lot of space. I don't suspect I'm going to need any more than 2 additional modules. Oh yeah, what's the hardware telling you? This is a superfluous power module. Is this the one we blew up? Did we blow up one of these yet? No. I think this is just the one that we were using on the perf board. Breadboard. I always get the 2 mixed up. I never bothered to memorize which one's bread and perf board, and now the neurons are so solidified that I can't teach myself to call it the right thing. I don't know why this is how I am. But I apologize for the way I am. This would be the emergency programming hole in the back. That would be not needed. And if I give myself a little bit of room on both sides of this, I can have connectors that lead out to the other stuff, like the screen. Although the screen's going to need its own little portion of logic boosting. I'm going to need power coming in with another 6-pin. So there's metered power and then regular power coming into this thing, which means I'm looking around for a JST kit. I guess the only kit's going to be in my crotch. Yeah. Where's that JST kit? What? Is that standardized? How standardized is that? Wait, what are you saying? Huh? Do you know his hardware, like, specifically? Those are usually generic. Like, it depends on the motherboard. You have to look it up. Stuff like that. Where are my... There's a JST kit around somewhere. Ow. I think it's just deep in here. Nope. All right, I gotta get the drawer fully out then. Oh, well, these are the small ones. That might be good for another connection. And then here's the full new one. I'm trying to use up the janky old one. I don't know where the janky old one is, though. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm gonna put some of these in here to keep the bins propped away from each other. Propped up and away. All right. What? Oh. That's all that storage. I see a red glow from inside the computer. Red, I presume, is not good. That's not necessarily true. You gotta look at what motherboard you have and see what the motherboard does to indicate to you that something is wrong. Unless you know the specific hardware, because, like, in my experience, something like a red light could just be, I am powered on. Well, depending on what the layout of this thing is, this would go here-ish. So that would be metered power. Do I do, like, normal power right next to metered power? Probably. This would be the power input from just below. So this one would have kind of a trip to come back and over, and then this one would go directly over. A little separation there. look up the specific motherboard, but I used to get red when there was something with the RAM. I have several white lights on this one, and the one in the other room has like multi-beeps. Like there's everybody does everything, you know? It's like, it's a madhouse. It's a madhouse. So, follow-up question, can I fit all of my channels on this board, input and output? But the thing is, these aren't the final stop. I need the muxes on something, and the muxes would go out to the individual channels. Now, the headphone plug is not needed on these. It's just there because they included it on the device, on the breakout. So those could go here. Technically, I could put the op amps that boost these on the same board as these. Or I could pipe the audio up to this board where I could have all of my op amps and adjustments. So if I do op amps and adjustments up here, that means that I could potentially put output here and have all of these sitting on the same board. God, that thing is huge. It's enormous. And then that does all of those, but it doesn't do the muxes. The muxes are big. The Max 308 and the Max 309. That could go here, but then actually this one goes to an op-amp circuit. These go directly to digital because they're driven outputs. This one is an input that goes to digital. It has a circuit in front of it. So all of the muxing could be done on this board. And this is all the digital in and digital out. Okay, I'm liking this. Never touch the inside of the computer powered on. Yeah, don't do that. I had a stream that I did back in the day, back before I had my setup. I was not fully settled on my setup and everything was a little bit in flux. And one of the things I had is an NXDT case right here that had a big window on it. And so I thought, you know, before I did the rack mount stuff, I thought, yeah, I could use that big window and it would be something in the background that would have like interactivity to it. I could have channel points or some other kind of like chat bot interact with the lighting inside of the computer. And so I decided to install the lights with the computer on, which is not that big of a deal. It really isn't. If you know what everything is doing, and I do, and you know what everything is supposed to do, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So I'm streaming on the computer that I'm installing lights into at the time. Problem is, NXDT put their power switch in just the right location in the corner of the computer so that every time I touched that computer, I accidentally hit the power button. And so the stream was like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, because I'd have to restart that computer, start stream up again. Twitch, I think, had a thing that kind of like linked it in quickly enough, but it was just stream down, stream up, stream down, stream. And then I'd start working on the computer, stream would go down. There was like a janky power plug that if I jiggled it just right, or I'd plug something in, it would short out the computer by accident. It was one of the most cursed streams that I've ever done. It was very early on in my streaming. So analog outputs, reference levels up with the op amps. And then I need 8 op amps to run this thing. I have them already on a board. I don't have standoffs. I could potentially cut these sockets to use. And what I was thinking is that I would put them in sockets simply because everything else on this board is in a socket. And so if I need to change something out, I can just pop it out and put something in. Generally, I'm okay soldering. Like I could just solder my way out of a wet paper bag. But in this case, I think I should probably just continue with my theme and split everything out. So while I have the op amps, I also have here we go, perforated prototyping, no, a solderless breadboard, has all the stuff on it from our tests. And this is all the op amps that are needed to run this entire circuit, including the muxes. It's not the exact muxes that I need, and I only have surface mount muxes. I don't think I have breakouts of this particular flavor, so I don't know if I need to make them or maybe I can buy them. I'll have to look that up. I'm going to keep the potentiometers in this board because I'm going to want to measure them. Actually, no, I don't want to measure them, because if I measure them, then they won't... I won't tune them. I need to tune them. So yeah, these are TL072s. They're just very generic op amps. They work well with audio. Channels 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. I could put a TL074 and have 4 op amps in one package. I'm going to stick with the 2s for now, though. I don't know where I'm going to play. I'm going to have to figure out where they're placed a little later on. It's not that big of a deal if you touch a computer. Reach out and touch your local computer. I think this whole in and out circuit can fit on this board. So this one will plug to the outside, to this guy, the one on the rack. And then I can have all of my op amping going on this one. All of my in and out conversions. And then we can also put the muxes in here. So the muxes are going to take up... Well, I mean, if I just use this as a representative until I can figure out what board I'm going to put in there. Oh, boy. Yeah, I can do it from one side to the other, basically. So that's going to sit like that. All the muxes over probably this way. And then the plug to the top board will be on the other side. And I'll have all of my op amps. That's a little tight if I do it that way. If I've got 4 chips, then I can just do it in a square. There's a big old square. In my mind, this circuit should be spread out completely. Just complete full eagle spread out, so that I have room to put labels on the board itself. So I can print out labels and put it right on the board so that I know everything that's going on. I may have room for that, but it's going to be a little bit tight. Like if we're like that, and then the muxes are here because all of the I/O I can run to like there. And so I can have the input to the muxes there, as well as the connections to the digital pins. This is going to be a mess. This is going to be a total mess. And then 2 reference voltage levels. I'll probably have to do like a horizontal plug for that, or replace the plugs on these little modules that I made. How do you know not to touch computers inside when it's on? Yeah, seriously. Well, it's probably in the instruction manual. It's probably in the instruction manual. Then I got a layer above that. What's that going to have on it? I think this goes this, yeah, this goes this way. So I'm going to have to flip all that around. I think maybe the port expander goes on the top board. But the port expander on the top board, I spread this out accordingly. And then it'll have all of its adjustments on it. Because these will have gain levels where you can adjust things into spec, basically. It keeps it honest. So I need room for 2 potentiometers between these, if that's the best way to do it. Not totally sure yet. Yeah, but you have electricity inside of you, and you're allowed to be touched. Wait a minute, who's this? An anonymous gifter, an anonymous grifter has given 5 tier 1 subs. What the heck? I don't deserve that. Hey, thank you so much. What did I miss? Did I miss somebody and they're secretly the gifter? Because it went to C. Strachan, Yesteryear 9, Velkiden. That sounds like Velkin, but it's Velkiden. Is that his alt? Does he? No, I don't think those 2 are associated with each other. Captain_no_1. Captain no one. And check this out. Spelled like, you know, the place, you know, like the Czech Republic. It's check this out. It's a pretty cool name. I like that name. I like some of your names. One of the things that Burn the Subs has really drilled in is some of the wackiness of Twitch names. Online people can be so incredibly creative. And check this out, it's right there. Hey, you just got an anonymous gift sub, so we have no idea who triggered that. It could be me with a foot pedal. You never know. But it wasn't me this time. It was one of you wonderful viewers. Thank you so much for the gift subs. I don't know why you would do that anonymously. Thanks to whoever. Yeah, it's like an enigma wrapped in a mystery. Who could have given that sub? We're keeping everything as modular as paha. What's going on here? Hold on a minute. I just paha'd. Index C subbed at tier 1 for 41 months. Index C, thank you so much. You triggered a hype train. Level 2, we haven't hit this sort of hype since Burn the Subs was up. Yeah, so we're keeping this thing modular, right? It started modularly. We're going to keep it modular. You know, our microcontroller is a module, and that could actually probably be twisted this way, to be honest. Although that means I can't really get to the programming thing, but, you know, we're running it externally anyway. Gotta think about that one. If it's this way, then I have room for plugs over here. If it's this way, it probably should be this way, because then I have room for plugs here, power. There's going to be a lot of little plugs that run this into whatever. This is basically a digital broker of signals. It has to do the screen, has to do the I2S on priority. It has to switch the mux, but not quickly. So the mux can actually be on the port expander, since the port expander is a little bit more difficult to communicate with. Now, is this going to fit? Are these going to fit here? I guess they could go just about anywhere. It depends on how much space I need for this circuit. And they're going to run to all kinds of different devices. Yeah, so somewhere on this board, these two new voltage levels are going to reside. I thought I would put voltage levels down here, but what am I building? So over the course of a long time, I've been trying to get Dave's module working again. And while we've done a lot of work on it, I just burnt out. Like, it's like every time I give it back to Dave, he's just like, no, it doesn't work. And I think fundamentally what I'm missing, so, you know, I have a bunch of modular synthesizer modules. I'm not too keen on what they do. I don't really know that well. So what I need is something that's going to produce all the signals and analyze all the signals that are going to allow me to test like any module. And so I'm building a modular synthesizer testing module. We started from somebody else's modular testing module that a lot of people have copied and sold. And I came up with kind of my own swing on it. And my own swing on it is that we have the same number of channels. We have a button for each channel, but each channel can be assigned as an input or an output. Index C just gave 5 gifted subs. Holy crap on a stick. We have a neighbor who, when his dog walks around, this neighbor, instead of carrying like poop bags, which is not that hard to do, I always have 2 poop bags on me. And I'll prove it. 2 poop bags right there. They call them eco, but they're still made out of plastic, so I don't know what the deal is. I don't think you can make special plastic that decomposes better. That's what they claim. But anyway, so instead of that, he finds a stick, and he'll put the dog poop on a stick, and he'll walk around with poop on a stick. People are weird. Generally, people are weird. Index C, thank you for gifting to Obscure Rare. Looking for Yakuzan, Gabinary, Sverky, and Dex C12. And then Makotronics subbed with a 73-month tier 1. 70 Mako, damn. Y'all have been around for a long time. Look, supporting my channel is one thing, but supporting it for like a third of the amount of time as it takes to get back to like when we started actually like recording data, like history, that's a long fucking time. 73 months. Holy crap. The sub names are a lot less sus compared to Burn the Subs. Yeah. I don't know about Makotronics. Yeah, that's filthy. That's Makotronics' sub message. Yeah, that's absolutely disgusting. But some of those names are ridiculous. Yeah, on the board that people were able to find. And I'm not like a stuffy engineer. I am an engineer, but I'm not like a stuffy, you know, a lot of engineers need like socialization. They need to learn to be cool, you know? I'm not like that. I'm not a homework nerd, but like some of the names were crazy. I mean, you guys saw earlier, I was talking to Runecar Snowpen. Only one message ago. Runecar Snowpen, translated, is literally just masturbation. It's a little bit, it breaks down a little bit, but it is just saying masturbation. That's what Twitch is bringing to the table. Somebody like ADHD Degenerate, who made a screen name describing themselves as both being ADHD and degenerate, get in trouble with Twitch saying that this is making fun of ADHD people, you're a horrible person, we're going to ban you. And so he had to fight that, and there's still, I think, a strike on his account. But then masturbation, translated literally, is fine. It's a hard world out there, and I think all we can do is just try to get in our clicks. Just try to get in as many clicks as we can. You know? We just gotta maybe a little faster. We gotta get maybe some faster clicks in there. Maybe we can slow it down a little bit. I need to make this light up, and then I need to make it into like a USB game controller, which means putting batteries in it, and then we can play click holding the game with this. That's a stupid game. It's so much funny. Anyway, all right, so there will be potentiometers on this board surrounding all 6 of the circuits. No, 8 of the circuits in here. One of them is a lower voltage input, and the others are translations to higher voltages from the outputs. Malo, you did not have to do that. 500 bits. 500 bits. Basically what you do is you put a decimal point in there, and it becomes USD. Although Twitch, I think, scrapes off a little bit from the cost. I just like to drive my car with runic inscriptions and use my snow pen. Ah, yes, that's the Swedish way of writing in the snow, using your urine. That is your snow pen. And his car is covered in runes because he is from Sweden. That was the worst accent. I don't even know where that was supposed to be from. Just talk like a dwarf. Broken stone. Okay, anyway. Up here, port expander. I have a bin full of these port expanders. I thought they would be way more useful than they are. I mean, they are very useful, but I've got this wonderful giant breakout board. I don't know if I want... What is this fucking hype chest? What is this? This is a new thing. I'm opening a... Look at me, I'm gambling. Oh my god, I got a puppy emote. Is that it's like some kind of a lumpy corgi? That looks horrible. Twitch gets their cut when you purchase, but the cheers are 100% to the stream. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Mega Mlep. That is a horrible approximation of a corgi. Maybe it's just not a corgi. Maybe it's not a corgi. Ugh. Horrifying. It's horrifying. Just getting you back over there. It's a bear. It doesn't... That didn't look like no bear that I know of. Some kind of foreign bear, some kind of weirdo. The fuck is that shit? Okay, whoa, shit! Okay, I dropped that and I might have bent some of the pins. So the question is, do I need to find a breakout for this thing? These things have a lot of pins on them. These CD, whatever, these are I2C breakouts, so I'm only gonna need 2 pins to come out of this. This will get standoffs. If I use this breakout, that means that if I need a breakout in the future, I'm not gonna have this one. Oh, and it's missing a pin? One of the pins came off. One of the pins. I could maybe fix that. But then that would be the only thing that sits on this board, which I like, because there's a lot of stuff. It needs 6 buttons to go down to here. It needs, I don't think this thing does analog. Analog's gonna have to go all the way down. This thing's gonna have a huge wiring harness on it. Yeah, that was a drop. What is a bear? Is that the question? No, there was an emote. There was an emote that looked dumb. It's a little animated, I guess, bear. So this has to go here. It has to have I2C and power, and then it'll go out to the front panel. And then the front panel is going to have its own set of op amps in there to drive the LEDs. Those will be direct, and then that'll get power, so that'll have a power plug. So we have power, popara, power, and then power. So it's good that I put 4 on there, because otherwise I'm going to be kind of strained for power plugs. 4 power plugs, one of them will go to here, and I guess power will be routed from there, and then we can maybe do the voltage shifting on this one. So we will have I2C and the LCD shifter pin. So it'll be I2C, and then the busy, serial, and clock. No, it doesn't have a clock. It's asynchronous. Whatever the other one was, there's 3. I think it's meant to be a balloon animal. Okay. Yeah, that really didn't communicate to me, balloons. Win for still having the physical manual. The 8-pin power plug is not connected. Oh no, not the CPU power? Is that what's killing you? Yeah, Twitch and emotes, like they've got, this platform has some of the best emotes, but I think they're getting the wrong people to do the public emotes. They had Tom Thinks to the emotes for a bit, and he took some heat from streamers that I knew that didn't like what they looked like, but I think the simplistic, cartoony stuff was nice. But then for like hype train emotes, we've got this smorgasbord of odd-looking things. There are good emotes on this platform. There are some really fun ones, and on Better TV too. But I don't know. Twitch just doesn't seem to be able to find them. I don't know what it is. They're like hype train emotes are always a little bit confusing. They kind of lack a simplicity of design, which this one has. The balloon animal, not this one, but the balloon animal one, the balloon animal bear. It doesn't exactly speak bear to me. It looks more like a corgi, but like a bloated corgi that got stung by a bee. Heard something. I thought it was my cat, but my cat is here. So there's a killer in your fucking house. You got a grandma in your walls. Get your gun. Oh no, wait, you're Swedish. Actually, I don't know if Rungar is Swedish. I might be misquoting him. No, I think it's, doesn't he? All you Scandinavians. Why do you watch my show? All right, so people said no gun. I can't have a gun. It looks like I'm going to have enough room for everything. I thought I'd have to put op amps underneath these guys, but spreading out, moving everything out from one another, making sure that everybody has room to breathe, and then I have room to run wires and see the wires that I'm running. It seems as though I'm not going to be too strapped for space. You know, there might be a little bit of a squish here and there, and I'll have to do it on a per thing basis, but it looks like I get all of my digital I/O here, and then those will run to the muxes, where this will be able to connect to any channel. These will be able to connect to any channel. And then I have digital stuff on top of that in order to run things. And I don't think I can run... Oh my god, you giant... You made the emote enormous. I mean, I guess it's good that they're able to make them enormous, because the higher quality emotes, like, there's 3 sizes to the emotes, so it's nice that they're able to actually do something with the larger sizes, instead of just when you click on it, it looks like something. But who made this? Oh, Sharp Balloons is the artist. Okay. So they specifically make balloon animal looking things, huh? That just doesn't look like a bear. I'm sorry. I think that's a corgi. I think that's supposed to be a corgi. Everything about that, well, except for the cheeks and the balloon going vertically, everything else looks kind of corgi-y. It doesn't look like a balloon either. It looks like a 3D model from a kid's game. It is a bit cursed. I don't mean to come down hard on the artists for this kind of stuff, but there's a... Looks like a lion. I would believe lion. I just don't know why the lion's doing a blep. Or a mlep. Yeah, it does kind of... It looks like Clay Fighter graphics. That's what it looks like. Clay Fighter. You guys remember Clay Fighter? I used to love Clay Fighter. Back when we had no taste in games, because you would learn about what games are good through the magazines. Jesus. I need a BTS K-pop sticker for more meta. Every now and then somebody comes in when I'm doing a burn the subs stream. They see that acronym and they go, you know, hey, and I'm like, I don't know anything about K-pop. I'm sorry. There was a social media post where somebody said, you know, how dare you steal the BTS acronym? It wasn't to me. It was to a behind the scenes thing. And it's like, you guys are not smart, huh? How dare you steal BTS for your behind the scenes videos? Three-letter acronym, man. You're not going to keep that safe from quote unquote copying. Only 26 letters is not a lot of permutations. But being dumb on social media is totally fine. It's just what everybody, you know. I grew up in a time before social media, so I was already a man when, oh wait, I plugged it into the wrong side. Shit. Get it off of there. When my digital life started to be infinitely recorded. This is not going to unplug clean. These headers are extremely annoying. All right, need to incorporate tools. Mankind uses tools. This is going to be a lot. A balloon animal maker is close to a clown. I would think that's one of the few skills that you would need in order to become a clown. Like, if you had very few skill points to spend and you wanted to go into clown, you would do balloon animals, because just that right there qualifies you. Don't go to percussive maintenance yet. Percussive maintenance is quite a leap from where you are right now. Right there, I hate it when they crack like that. Damn it. Splitting those is better done with this tool, because this tool has a much sharper point to it, and it has two blades on it. When I crack them by hand, this seems to be happening all the time, where the plastic cracks away from surrounding it. Now, if I soldered it in like this would be totally fine. There would be no issue. It's just one of those things that bugs me. Look at that. Did this on too. These pin headers are not good. I think somebody bought them on super discount and is trying to get rid of them. All right, so I got a plan. Whether or not I actually follow this exact plan is going to be something to consider. But so that, what is this symbolizing? I forgot. It would be this and then a couple transistors to level shift to 5 volts. So they all get power plugs. They all get 5-pin plugs. Yeah, the aesthetics are completely vile. They're ruined. Nah! Sorry, putting stuff away. Gotta get all these screws out of my face. We figured out what all the hardware is going to look like. I think it'll be pretty good, actually. I think we're zeroing in on a pretty well-functioning module. Once I get all the hardware built, and I guess we'll start soldering stuff tomorrow. We'll start soldering stuff tomorrow. This is when stuff gets kind of exciting. We start soldering everything together. I haven't put a single capacitor in any of this. I could probably install a couple caps on the power supply and some up here as well. But once we get all of this layout decided upon, I'll solder them down, and then we start running power and ground. And then our signal lines, since these are digital and it's already pretty short, those will be done with wire wrapping wire, and those can be a little bit more chaotic. And then that'll eventually get us our whole system together. There's a couple other things that need to be put into the circuits as well. I need to have a transistor on every single one. Now the question is, am I going to have these as plug-in transistors? If I do like a little breakout board for every transistor, I don't think I'm going to have enough room for that. I don't think that'll actually fit. And if my signals are coming in here, does this have room for all them transistors? I don't think so. It's a lot of plugs and a lot of transistors. I almost need a full third floor to do that. There's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm going to have to work in. I'm not going to have room for because I'm not considering it right now. Then again, I could do it on its own. So this could be a 6-pin connector. This could be a 6-pin connector, and this circuit can sit right next to the plug. So all of this can be on the board with this, and that will accomplish most of what I want to do, because I'll take 6 pins out of here and move them down to the next board, and then 6 pins out of here and move them down to the digital input. That's, I think, the way to go. So that's putting a lot of strain on this stuff up here, on this board specifically. And I don't need to keep this one single-sided. I think I can go to the other side with it. Although we can explore that tomorrow. We can try to fit in the TL072s, a power connector, 2 6-pin connectors, this fucking thing, whatever the hell this is, that's the AB knob encoder, which I'm going to want because once we get this hardware together, it'll be down to doing UIs and setting up test modules. If I can do test modules, like we work on one thing at a time. Here's the thing that measures frequency. Here's the thing that does this test. Here's the thing that... So I set those up as functions in the software, and then I come in with a UI as like an image that can be replaced, and then I know what all the different things that I can do are. It's all coming together. This is going pretty well. I am going to break here because this is a good time to break. We spent a lot of time looking at Willow today, which we haven't seen her in a while. I mean, it's been a little while. For you guys, for me, I'm, you know, that's the rest of my day is hanging out with the dog. We did a little 3D printing modification. We were able to get that printed and out and totally ruined it. We got a giant raid from Code Rush. You guys should check out Code Rush. Code Rush does a lot of cool stuff for 75 people. Holy shit. If anybody's left, thank you for sticking around. I am going to be winding down here. I would love to do a stream where I'm doing Blender and I'm working on that car body, because then we could raid into Rabaz, who's working on his game, and it would be sort of a logical movement. I don't know Blender well enough, so it would be kind of a weird stream where I'm just sort of flailing around, and then I throw you guys at Rabaz, who barely knows Blender and has only been doing it for like 2 months and is much better at it. I think that would be kind of funny, but I don't know. I don't know if we'll exactly get to that. There's some like there's some what is it, mesh errors in the car that I'm trying to put together. I'm trying to put it together a Lancia Monte Carlo together to be an RC car body, and I'm going to print it way too thin, and hopefully it'll shatter into a billion pieces if I crash. I would love to do that with the generative design stuff too, and have like a spiderweb RC car that race around, and then when it crashes into something, it just becomes a bunch of just plastic shards. Anyway, I gotta go take my dog for a walk. We had a decent stream, 3.5 hours. You guys are insane. Like the gift subs and stuff, I'm super happy about that. I find it hilarious Rabaz is making a game. He truly wants to, any excuse to not edit video. That's very true. What is that little spot under my wrist? I've got a little spot under my wrist where like either something like got under my skin and is still under there, which I don't think that's the case anymore, but I always find like a little nub that's just right under it right there. There's a little just like nub, and I always find it, and there's no nerve endings in it or anything like that. I don't know what it is. I tried to look at it under the microscope, but that's like super awkward, and it's like I'll peel it away and then it'll come back months later. It's so weird. I think it's something under the skin. I think it's something that I just don't have nerve endings to feel anymore. Look at that. There's like a little skin tag under there. I don't know, but the screen is showing on stream. What, that over there? My stream screen? 2 doggo, 2 walk, 2 pits. Hey, Copper, I'm actually just winding down because we kind of ran out of stuff that's going to only take a half hour. I even started late today. I'm going to try to not start late tomorrow. What the hell is this? Is it something that's in my skin, or is it like a skin tag? It's not really a skin tag, though. It's like a calcification. It's like a 6th fingernail. mean, like, I can try to give you guys a look, but it's a solder joint. No, it's this right here. It's like a little piece of skin. Is that my, if I pull on this, is it like a seam? Am I gonna like Terminator my hand? I do not know. I do not know what that is. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna pull on it again and unzip myself. It might just be that I can't get a grip on it with tweezers. I have no idea what it is. Misgrown skin. I have like an error in my mesh, and there's a couple polygons that are sticking out in a weird way. I've removed it before, and it just comes right back in like a month or two. That's what I have, a few years now, and I have no idea. It's like it, because when it grows up a little bit and it starts to pick out, it's Z fighting skin. Kia! I get Yamchud. No, but it like when I go to solder stuff, that's the part of my wrist that's going down onto the table. So I'll notice it when that happens again. It's weird. All right, anyway, I'm not going to go into... Let's laboriously talk about all of my health problems like an old woman. Like an old man who has no one else to talk to. It's pretty much in the same place. And it might be just that that's the part that contacts the table. I always thought that it was a little piece of like a lead going in there. But yeah, I just don't know what it is. So we made a little bit of progress. You know, our power supply is done. All the mechanical stuff for the power supply is done. We've got an idea of what the layout of the other parts are going to be with the switching and elements, the port expanding elements, the shifting, the op-amp elements, and then all the digital stuff on one board. Oh, really? It's in the same place as yours. There might be a name for the condition then. There's all these weird conditions. Yeah, no, you got to be careful when Googling medical stuff because you can get some pretty heinous Google results on different things. It's, you know, looking up like skin tags is probably not a good thing. They've got all kinds of new medical products for dealing with skin tags, though. I should try them out. But yeah, and then you always get the one that's the most shocking. I'll bet you there's a name for that. I wonder if I knew the specific medical jargon that would get me to that, I could probably look it up and find something. No. I had a weird glass shard stuck like 1 millimeter under my skin. I didn't realize it was there before I started investigating. That's interesting. Yeah, you can get stuff caused like people still have like pencil lead stuck under their skin from school. Some people catch things from looking up medical conditions, like bug chasers. What are you talking about? Glass vanishes. I had a pitcher break in the shop the other day, but that's unrelated to this because this has been for a while. It's been like this has been like this. It just kind of comes back. It's just right there, and that actually might be dry skin from contacting the desk. That could be what it is. It could be nothing. It probably is. Obviously, it hasn't taken me out yet, so. One day I'll go and then die, and it'll be because of this. But until then, I'm fine. All right, so I'm gonna do. I have to update the end card now, and since OctoJ quit his job of updating my stuff, he had no obligation to do it. So I need to go in here and I need to update my comms to equal tomorrow, which I'm guessing is the 20th. Oh, that's already updated. I already did my comms. I need to do next because I can do that after I end the stream so that you guys don't have to see the sausage being made, but I'm gonna do it anyway right now. Doot. And then here's the end card. So we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be doing more soldering, and we'll actually have a full stream to do the soldering now that we've kind of planned out where everything is going to live. I'm going to commit to those positions. We'll solder things down, and then we'll start wiring it up. It's going to be fairly mechanical work because we know what the circuits are. We generally know the layouts. We know the positions of things. We run power, and then we run signals. Signals can wibbly wobbly a bit more in this method. If you were designing a circuit board, I would run signals first and then power. We kind of do it the opposite way from one thing to the other. It was fun watching you search for Corgi. I hope it was worth it because those clips were very cute. I will talk to you guys later. I need to go walk the corgi and give her food and squeeze her like a toothpaste tube so that she poops. We actually don't need to do that. She'll poop just fine. And then I'll be on Discord and I'll see you guys there. Have a good one, everybody. What do I do here? How am I supposed to like transition? Yeah, hey, thanks. I will indeed do that. There's something that I need to like figure out because like otherwise it's kind of, you guys are like walking in the same direction that I am after we've said goodbye. It's a little weird and you know, you don't really know what to, oh, here's my, oh, Dr. Bugger, thank you for subscribing. Okay, this is my turn. I gotta take my turn. So you guys are gonna walk over there. You guys are gonna go that way, and I'm gonna go this way. And we'll be back tomorrow. So you guys just no, I'm gonna start walking. Okay, all right, goodbye.